Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
I can dare say this is the only country on the face of the earth where black, brown, white, polka dotted all have equal opportunity.
The lady who raised the point that America is a great land of opportunity, we can't deny that America has given everyone who has come opportunity. But to the blacks who built this, I suggest to you, miss, you are not qualified to speak for us. You are not qualified to speak for us. You are only qualified to represent yourself and your opinion. But really, those of us who have suffered this, we know what we're talking about.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm here. You're here. We all here. Certified family, certified salute. Back where we belong. Back like we never left. And back for every motherfucking thing they owe. That's what it is. Today, we G-checking all the coons, we G-checking all the tap dancers, all the butter biscuit chasers, and most importantly, we G-checking all the ops. I don't give a fuck where you from. I don't give a fuck what time zone. I don't give a fuck what hemisphere. I don't give a fuck what country, what continent, what county, what state, what side of the street you live on. If you come at certified foundational black Americans incorrect, your ass is getting G-checked, and that's what we doing right here, start to finish. Black Alpha Network, certified love, y'all know how we do. It's good to be back with the family. I'm telling you, this is the best time. We are the best people, and we putting it down day to day, minute to minute, second to second, and the world got to deal with it. And we making changes, y'all. We getting closer to the bag. And how do you know you getting closer to the bag? Because the ops start coming out the woodwork. We got to deal with ops every day, all the time, any motherfucking way. See, when you great, motherfuckers always come at you sideways. Matter of fact, let me say it like this, and I've been on record saying this, and this is one of my mottos. With great black power comes great black responsibility. And family, we all have the responsibility. What is that responsibility? That is to get reparations. That is to get tangibles. That is to produce black empowerment. And black empowerment produces justice. And that is the time we on. And that's the path that we walking down. But we walking down that motherfucker with style. All my certified sisters with style. All my certified brothers with style. And that whole FBA family tree walking down that path with motherfucking style. Speaking of FBA family tree, I want everybody to tap in. Tell me where you at right now. Tell me what city. Salute to your family. I hope everybody's in good health. I hope everybody's in good spirits. And I hope everybody's getting to the money. Because if you got all three of those, you winning. And you know we win unlike anybody else because ain't nobody on our level. Never has been. Love y'all. And that love that we got for each other, that's what's fucking everybody up right now. They've been trying to run diversions, deflections, divide and conquer. And y'all notice none of that shit is working? They can't break the code. The code is unbreakable. What I always say, fam, I say untouchable, unbreakable, unmatched, and stronger than ever. And I'll be damned if we ain't doing every last one of those. We are untouchable. Can't nobody touch us. We are unbreakable. Never gonna get broke. We are unmatched. Ain't a motherfucker out here can see us eye to eye, man to man, woman to woman, mano to mano. Nobody can. And we are stronger than ever. No disrespect to anybody from the past, but this generation hits different. And if you want to know, just look around you. Look at all the results that we've been producing. Look at all the energy that we've been radiating, all the style that we've been permeating, and motherfuckers gonna see that this certified era is unlike any before, getting to that bag and doing it our way. See, we ain't had a tap dance for nothing. We demanded. We ain't been out here begging and pleading. Have y'all heard anybody say, please give us reparations? Has anybody heard that? I haven't heard that. Y'all haven't heard that. Nobody's out here saying that. Have y'all heard anybody say, we hope we get reparations? Fuck no. We're demanding. Nobody's saying we wish. Nobody's saying please. We saying run all that shit. You owe the debt, cut the check. No tangibles, no vote. Give that shit up or get it took. That's the difference. And I love it. I'm telling you, family, I love being a part of this era. I love all my certifieds. This FBA family tree is getting it in day to day. And there ain't a damn thing anybody can do about it. So as I always say, checkmate. And since we checking, folks, let's talk about some of these ops that been popping up, some of these reparations ops. I told you, we have to have a reparations watch list where we can monitor motherfuckers that's run the game. Because when it comes to reparations, you dealing with a whole different form of anti-blackness. See, things are real different for us. We move in a different lane, we move in a different path. This is how we know we're exceptional. If you want to see how exceptional you are, look how different you get treated than the rest of the world. Nobody gets treated the same way foundational Black Americans get treated because foundational Black Americans are on another level. We deal with exclusive hatred, we deal with exclusive jealousy, we deal with exclusive vitriol, and we have exclusive ops that ain't nobody got. Because heavy is the head that wears the crown, and we wear the motherfucking crown. We already have to deal with anti-black hate, but then we also have to deal with anti-Black American hate. And that's different. That's a whole nother one. See, anti-black hate, that's where people hate black folks. Anti-Black American hate is where everybody, including other black people, hate foundational Black Americans. And we've all seen that shit front row and center. Motherfuckers come from everywhere with every type of fucking accent, and they got all types of things to say about FBA. Listen to some of these spaces. You can have a Twitter space, take 5 callers, they'll have 5 different accents, and all of them will have something bad to say about foundational Black Americans. Motherfuckers that don't even get along with each other. 2 different religions, one motherfucker from that side of the planet, the other from that side of the planet, but the one thing they got in common is they both got something bad to say about FBA. These motherfuckers be going to the United Nations hating on us. But don't nobody else get that hatred, but it's cool because ain't nobody on our motherfucking level. Get on your grind, step your game up, and we stay on ours. So when you add anti-black hate and then anti-foundational Black American hate, but you put $1 trillion+ reparations claim on it, then shit gonna get real heavy. And that's what's been happening because nothing brings out the ops like reparations. We had to deal with hatred. We done had to deal with jealousy and everything before. But family, the more our reparations claim goes up, the more the hatred and the desperation goes up. And these motherfuckers is desperate. I'm telling you right now, these motherfuckers is thinking about us every second of the day. These motherfuckers is thinking about us when they sleeping. They living in the reality of foundational Black Americans when they're awake, and then they seeing foundational Black Americans in they fucking nightmares. That's where we got these motherfuckers. Tethers is having nightmares. The dominant society is having nightmares. The peoples of color is having nightmares. The Black and brown coalition is having nightmares. They're sending out every motherfucker they can find off the street to try to run some type of interference on our reparations claim. And they're getting pissed off because every motherfucker they send at us, we sending them right the fuck back. We sending them back broken. We sending them back ashamed. And we sending the motherfuckers back with no money in their pockets because you can't have ours. That's why we say this is a certified error. That's why we say we hold shit down. That's why we say respect it, because we know damn well you can't check it. And we winning full 100. So when you start talking about ops, we're going to break them all down today, family. We're going to talk about tether ops. We're going to talk about the coon ops, the homegrown motherfucking coons. We're going to talk about the foreign ones. We're going to talk about the ones that have been imported, exported. We're going to talk about the fake allies. Every single group has an op against foundational Black Americans. Understand that. Every single group that you see on television, every single group you see at the store, every single group you see walking down the motherfucking street, they got somebody in that group that wants to come in and steal our reparations. And they're going to try to do it with every single fucking tactic they can find. Every little backdoor, undermining, slick, passive-aggressive thing that they can come up with. But y'all know FBA see they ass from a mile away. And they don't like us having these conversations. They would love nothing more than for us not to have these conversations, for us not to have these exchanges, this dialogue, to where we cannot break motherfuckers down, to where we cannot slam these race receipts on the table. We've been giving out so many race receipts, so many tax returns, so many invoices, dropping so many motherfucking spoilers, they don't know what to do next, family. We got them against the ropes. We're not in the beginning of our reparations claim. We are right in the middle of this. This is the most pivotal, most important, most serious time, and we got our game to match it. See, it's one thing when you ain't bringing your A game. It's one thing when you kinda sorta there. We ain't kinda sorta no motherfucking where. We full speed ahead. We 10 toes down. We loyal to the soil. We representing stronger than ever. And this is what they cannot stand. Every time in the past before, all of that shit would have worked. They would get every fucking op they could find, and they would send them in, and black folks would be opening the door, escorting these motherfuckers to the bank. Taking motherfuckers straight to our money, handing that shit away. What's the first thing this generation did? Got rid of everyone who's off code. What Harriet Tubman used to do, family? Y'all know. Y'all know what Harriet Tubman used to do when she seen the slightest weakness in a motherfucker. Y'all know she carried something with her, all right? And she didn't play about it. And if she seen anybody looking like they was gonna go tails, they was gonna go runs the master and start pointing to the fingers, they was gonna drop out, they was gonna gives up, she got rid of them, didn't she? Did she do some deleting? Hey, in the comment section, y'all type in right now what Harriet Tubman carried with her. What was it? I'm telling you, type that shit in. Type it in and tell me what Harriet Tubman carried with her and what did she use it for if somebody looked like they was gonna go tell, they was gonna go snitch, they was gonna go squeal, or they was gonna run interference on the mission. What she used to do? Yeah, she used to start deleting. And she wasn't playing games. And that's the same ancestral presence that we have right now. That's why I'm loving it, family. When I say we stronger than ever, we only stronger than ever because of them. We only stronger than ever because the ancestors is with us now. The on-code ancestors passed the baton to the on-code us. Let me say that one more motherfucking time, okay? The on-code ancestors passed the baton to the on-code us. Certified Black Society, BLACK. And look what we did. We running with it. We running with it, and we gonna run straight to the bank, get a big ass check, cash that motherfucker, and let the whole world watch us count that money. And in the process, we're gonna expose everybody, starting with people like this.
New this morning, Governor Newsom appears to not be on board with the idea of paying money to address California's history with slavery. Governor Newsom appears to not be on board with the idea of paying money to address California's history with slavery.
Governor Gavin Newsom is now responding to recent recommendations by California's Reparations Task Force. The task force recently submitted recommendations to lawmakers suggesting up to $1.2 million in damages be paid to Black residents.
Well, yesterday he told CNN reporters that a legacy like this is about more than cash. This is about more than cash. This is about more than cash. On Saturday, the state's Reparations Task Force approved a long list of proposals that would compensate and apologize to Black Californians.
Governor Newsom says, quote, dealing with that legacy is about much more than cash payments. Many of the recommendations put forward by the task force are critical action items we've already been hard at work addressing, end quote.
There we motherfucking go. Op number one, the fake ass politician. The politician who comes around and claims that he supports reparations, claims that he's in it for the blacks, claims he supports cash payments, but in reality, he's trying to con you into voting for the Democratic Party. That's what you've been seeing. I'm always on record saying that our reparations claim is like a designated driver. Be careful who you give your keys to. And you've been seeing a whole lot of politicians come around and been begging for us to hand our keys over. My name is Gavin Newsom. I support reparations for Black people. Soon as you give that motherfucker your keys, then it turns into, well, not cash payments for Black folks. I just support the study. I just support the thought. I just support hopes and prayers. I just support something bigger than money. See, that's the con they always run. It's always something bigger than money. And we see every fucking day, it's always about the money. We're living in the personification of a 21st century capitalistic society. In a capitalistic society like America, money is more important than a person. As a matter of fact, as we speak right now, Joe Biden just agreed to send another $1.2 billion to the Ukraine. Somebody tally that up. Because at this point, that has to be well into the hundreds of billions or the trillions. And these are non-American citizens. So when he comes out, Gavin Newsom, and he says something along the lines of, it's bigger than cash payments, that's the same exact motherfucking thing that op number whatever the fuck the NAACP said. We're going to get to them in a minute because we're going to break down these reparations ops one by one by one. We're going to put some names, some dates, some numbers on these motherfuckers. But that's the main con they use. It's bigger than the money, but they all run on cash payments to get your attention. And then you hand them your keys. And then it goes from it's all about the money to it ain't about the money. And they're going to try to walk your ass all the way back from dollar bills to reconciliation. That's the main thing. They want to take us to some South Africa shit on some peace and reconciliation, and then that's going to turn into some hugs, and that's going to turn into a fucking handshake by the time they done. Ain't nobody stupid. So you're dealing with the reparations op of the politician. And those politicians are going to come in all different colors. They even may represent different parties, but they all represent the same ideology: anti-blackness, supremacy. And whether that is supremacy as a W that supremacy as a person of color, or that supremacy in blackface. It is all meant and designed to run interference on our reparations claim, because all the other tricks that they've tried ain't motherfucking working, because we won't let them. And when you don't let a motherfucker play you, you don't let a motherfucker hustle you, they get desperate. So what we doing is we exposing these motherfuckers and making them desperate. How is that? By calling out all their next moves before they try that shit. It ain't no different than your regular life. If you know a motherfucker about to say some shit and they about to run a con game on them, you call them out on that shit before they even speak, and they don't have nothing left. And they don't have nothing left right now because we've been calling them out on the bullshit ahead of time. We knew the con game was gonna come on, so you gotta be very careful with this Gavin Newsom guy. The Democrats are trying to run him like a W Barack Obama. He's trying to run the whole John F. Kennedy thing. I'm down with the blacks, bro. I'm down with all the blacks. I want to give you a cash reparations, man. Bullshit. Remember, I said they're going to all come from different areas. They're going to have different colors. They're going to have different tactics. And this guy has his own tactics. See, they try to give us the hipster black guy. Barack Obama out here trying to fucking dance. Kamala Harris out here trying to dance. Barack Obama 2.0, he out there trying to dance. They understand that all the black people who try to run this fake game on us, we expose them. See, we knew Kamala Harris is not a foundational black American, so she's the fuck up out of there. We know Barack Obama is not a foundational black American, so he got the fuck up out of there. We don't care how much you put on some Timberlands, on some fucking Converse. You can recite every goddamn Snoop Doggy Dogg song, every Tupac song. We don't give a fuck about none of that shit. We know whether you are a foundational black American or if you have the best interests of foundational black Americans in your policy. So we've been running out all the Democrats in blackface. So now they try to give us a W. They try to run us the John F. Kennedy thing. This is the same thing JFK did back in the 1960s. You have to understand, the myth about JFK being some type of rider for black folks, that's a motherfucking lie. That's a straight up lie. John F. Kennedy was just as anti-black as Richard Nixon. Straight up and down. He was just the rich East Coast version of a Southern racist. That's all he was. He was the Northern version of all the Southerners that they try to dump racism on. Remember, the dominant society will always try to dump racism on each other if they can benefit from it. If they can try to get a couple black votes, they'll say, you're racist. No, you are. No, you are. No, you are. The Northerner and the Southerner have been playing that game for a long time. The Democrat and the Republican been playing that game for a long time. The liberal and the conservative been playing that game for a long time. And that's exactly what John F. Kennedy was doing back in the 1960s. This little notion that he was some type of civil rights leader and he had all these pro-FBA policies, hell to the motherfucking no. That comes from all the Democratic shills from back then. You got to understand, that Democratic plantation of black folks selling their soul to get a couple votes for the Democrats, that shit goes way the fuck back 60, 70 years. 60, 70 years. This is all documented history. We know all of this. When you look at all the Democratic shills from back then, they were literally trying to pump up JFK. Nas has a song, the rapper Nas. It's called Nigger. Google it, YouTube it, check it out right now. And in his lyrics, he says, black folks revered Martin, JFK, and Jesus. I ain't lying. And he's telling the truth, because a lot of black folks had a picture of Martin Luther King, they had a picture of a W, Jesus, and JFK. And they used to try to pump him up. They would try to slide it in. Y'all remember in school, they would talk about civil rights leaders and they would just throw JFK in that shit. They'd be like, Martin Luther King, Megas Elvis, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy, his brother, his uncle, his auntie, his cousin on his daddy's side. Man, fuck no. Fuck no. All that is the Northerner trying to act like he's the goods W who's gonna save black folks from all the bads W's in the South. In reality, all that is just regional supremacy. See, black folks have to understand regional supremacy. The same way we say reparations ops come from all different areas, supremacy plants its flags everywhere it goes. So you're gonna have the Northerner and he's gonna have his little tactics. You're gonna have the Southerner, he's gonna have his little tactics, and they go back and forth with each other to make you think that one of them is good and the other's bad. In reality, there's not a hero and a villain. Both they asses is the villain. And that's what black folks did not want to understand back with JFK. And that's what a lot of these Democratic shills do not want to understand with Gavin Newsom. All Gavin Newsom is the nowadays version of that JFK shit, where he acts like he's some type of hipster. He's got the fucking slick back hair, 3 fucking ounces of hair grease, always smacking his bubble gum. He'll probably be doing the fucking 2-step soon, or the moonwalk. Have a bunch of photo ops with rappers. Have a bunch of rappers taking any photo ops with him yet? Because soon as you see that, then you know his presidential run's coming. Oh yeah, soon as he starts pulling out all the fucking rappers, they start throwing their arms around him, talking about how he's so down, how he invites it to the barbecues, then you already know his ass is gonna be positioned for 2028, because that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to make him the face, the W face of reparations. Yes, the same way they made JFK the W face of the civil rights movement, they're trying to make Gavin Newsom the W face of our reparations claim. So they could always point to somebody and say, see, look, he's the one who freed y'all. Matter of fact, we could take it back further than JFK. Race receipt, Black Alpha Network. Smash that like button, y'all. Let's get them up. This is Abraham Lincoln. The same way they made Abraham Lincoln the face of freeing black folks, and then they made JFK the face of our civil rights movement, they're going to try to make Gavin Newsom the face of our reparations claim. So they could always have them a W savior some fucking where. You know black folks in America cannot do something without the dominant society inserting one of them and saying, oh, y'all know that only happened because of us, right? So you got to love us. Put down all that shit y'all got. Be nice, be friendly, quit trying to fight for your own empowerment, because we gave you your empowerment. We are here to save you. You wouldn't have got that done without JFK. You wouldn't have got that done without Abraham Lincoln. You wouldn't have got those reparations without Gavin Newsom. And what they're going to do, they're going to try to pass some type of bullshit reparations claim. Let's put it on the table, fam. Fuck that. Let's go. Here we are. I got it. Check this out. They're going to try to put out some type of bullshit reparations where black folks get fucking $3 and a Big Mac. And they're going to try to make Gavin Newsom the face of that. And they're going to parade him around like he's did so many things for black people. And they're going to try to set that in play for 2028 so they can get the black vote after Jimmy Crow Joe Biden in 2024. See, the Democrats have reached the level of being desperate, like we were just saying before. Everybody sees right now that Jimmy Crow Joe has been exposed. All these fake ass tethers who claim to be FBA, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Ketanji Brown Jackson, all the motherfuckers have all been exposed. They cannot present to us any more fake black people. All those Democrats and blackfakes, we have ran them the fuck off the block. So now they got to go back into what I call recycled racism. Yes, recycled racism is when they try to wait a while. They try to think shit done passed over. They be like, man, I hope the black folks forgot now. I hope they didn't think about this. So they go way the fuck back to 1962. Pull out one of them old tactics, dust that motherfucker off. They go way the fuck back to 1862, try to dust that motherfucker off and use some recycled racism, because back in the old days, a lot of these coons used to fall for recycled shit. They would run one motherfucking con game, that shit would work for 60 years, and then when that shit didn't work, they go back another 60 years, and they'll fall for that shit. We ain't fell for nothing. The new ones, the old ones, the shit they done pulled out the bag, we ain't fell for none of that shit. So therefore, now they're trying to run this Gavin Newsom hustle on us, and we've been calling that shit out at the black grassroots. One thing about FBA, especially certified black society, we know when you're trying to con us, we know when you're trying to trick us, we know when you're trying to run a scheme. And he's been a scheme, a scam, and a plot from day one. They're trying to position him in 2028 so he can run this bullshit ass, I'm down with y'all, I gave y'all reparations in the form of McDonald's. And as a matter of fact, as I was talking about have any rappers came out and supported him, once again, family, y'all know Black Alpha Network got them receipts. Black Alpha Network dropped them spoilers. Black Alpha Network gonna speak what it is. Check this one out. Weren't we just talking about them trying to pull out some rappers so they can get some black clout in these streets? Y'all know the first thing a politician tries to do is pull out a fucking rapper, and y'all know these fake ass entertainers are not leaders, are gonna be the main ones jumping in on it. The main ones throwing their arm around the politician, telling all black folks how down they is and we need to vote. How many times y'all done seen a picture where it's a politician and there's 30 fucking rappers in the room all smiling, kiki and ha-ha with them? Barack Obama took that same photo with rappers every year of his presidency. And all them rappers, they was talking about how good he was and my president is black, and that motherfucker didn't do a goddamn thing for us. And then the rappers disappeared when it was over. They was out here parading around Bernie Sanders. Remember that shit? Bernie, oh Bernie's so cool. Feel the burn. Remember that shit? Black folks was always jumping in on these saviors anytime they would pull one out. Well, as we talk about Gavin Newsom trying to be positioned for 2028, for them using the John F. Kennedy hustle, for them trying to make him the face of our reparations claim, he already had the hip hop gathering. Yep, and we gonna name some motherfucking names of these clown ass rappers. Meek Mill, Killer Mike. Oh, Killer Mike, don't get me started on Killer Mike. Matter of fact, hold on, family, before I go any further, y'all know Killer Mike was the main one out here having lunch with Bernie Sanders, meeting up with the governor of Georgia, not just meeting up with him, but not there to actually negotiate things on our behalf or to use the Democrats and the Republicans against each other, which I'm always advocating for. The only time a certified foundational Black American needs to ever be meeting with a Republican or a Democrat, that is to gain leverage for our community, typically by getting those two to fight each other. AKA, I go to this guy over here and say, if you don't give me some shit, then I'm going to this guy over here. And then I reverse it and go both sides and play them against each other. That is true certified foundational Black American political independence, and Killer Mike wasn't on that. Killer Mike was on some vote blue no matter who, or vote red or you fled. That's what Killer Mike be doing. He falls in love with all of them. As a matter of fact, before I go further, let me play this clip from Killer Mike right here.
It's the people. So once the people start making that a habit, we get better. And if we as Black people start doing the right thing economically, living below our means, not projecting this thing of richness, we'll start to enrich our lives by spending more time with our children. We'll start to set up for our grandchildren to be in a better place. But that takes what we told those young men today, discipline.
Damn, Killer Mike in there talking about pick up your pants. Killer Mike went from run them jewels to pick your pants up. Killer Mike sounded more and more like a political shield every goddamn day. Need I say more? Proceed. Killer Mike, Meek Mills, YG, Ty Dolla $ign, Too Short, E40. I fuck with you, E40, but I'm sorry, bro. Tyga, they all attended a virtual ceremony for Gavin Newsom when he signed a bill into law. What bill was that he signed into law? He signed into law that says you cannot use rap lyrics in courts. That is a catering, a placating, and a trying to get the fucking black vote hustle if I've ever seen one. You got black folks homeless right there in California. He drives by him, walks by him, skips by him every motherfucking day. No law specifically for that. You got black folks who are the descendants of slaves right there in California. No law specifically for that. But he signed one about rap lyrics.
Governor Newsom also signed the rap lyrics bill. This bans prosecutors from using an artist's lyrics in music videos against them in court unless they can prove it directly is relevant to the case. Governor Newsom was joined online by several musical artists, including Tyga and Meek Mill. California is the first state to ensure creative content.
Get the fuck out of here. So no law for the homeless, no laws for reparations, no cash payments. But if you's a rapper, you can do shit in your video. And notice that all those rappers, they pulled up quick for that. How many of those rappers went to any of those reparations hearings? All those rappers we just named. Killer Mike ain't even from LA. He got his big ass on a plane from Atlanta and flew all the way to LA to get in on that. Meek Mills, you from Philly. You flew all the way to get on that. Oh, I'm sorry. They had a virtual meeting. Just like Joe Biden had a virtual meeting with Cardi B. But I digress. They'll all show up for some rap lyric law, but nobody showed up for no cash payment reparations. This is who we dealing with. So when we start pulling the card on these motherfuckers, we start calling out these COONs all in capitals. Motherfuckers can't be mad because we got race receipts that show they off code as fuck. And if you off code, you get G-checked. So they all show up for these rap laws. They don't show up for anything real, anything that affects everybody. Because mind you, reparations affects the collective. This little hip hop law, that affects what, 2 or 3 fucking rappers, all right? And this is what happens. They'll take some bullshit that is minimal, that is minute, that is minuscule, and they'll apply that shit to the greater community, and it don't do a goddamn thing for the majority of us. I'm tired of them coming with laws that help 4 or 5 rich black folks and try to apply that to 50 million of us. Get the fuck out of here. We gonna continue to run your ass out the paint with that type of bullshit. And that's what Gavin Newsom will do. He'll pull that out real fast. He'll pull out his little pen and he'll sign that motherfucking law ASAP. But when it come to cash reparations, all of a sudden, it's bigger than money. Yeah, you see the con game, you see the hustle, and that's that same JFK shit. Mind you, this is the same tactic to when John F. Kennedy will go stand next to Martin Luther King. He'll go stand next to Megan's Elvis. So he made sure he got in on all them photo ops. It's funny we talk about reparations ops, and one thing that a reparations op loves is a photo op. So when you see a reparations op taking a photo op, then you know they asses is ops of foundational black Americans. All the way around, full circle. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Malcolm X was calling out John F. Kennedy way back in the day. See, the same type of energy that we're on, as I said, we are where we are based on our ancestors' energy, and we've taken that energy and we done lit shit up. Yes, the fuck we have. John F. Kennedy was being exposed back in the 1960s by Malcolm X the same way that we're exposing Gavin Newsom right now today. Mind you, John F. Kennedy, he sat back and watched black folks be assaulted all through the South and didn't do a motherfucking thing. The only time he did something is when black folks started fighting the fuck back. When black folks started swinging back, then all of a sudden John F. Kennedy sent in all the troops to the National Guard. And they tried to frame it like it was some type of thing where he was rescuing black folks. And all the Democratic shields from back then were saying, oh, thanks you, Mr. John F. Kennedys. We so glad that you stopped all the bad Southerners from beating us up. No, the fuck he didn't. He only sent those people in is because black folks was giving the supremacists that work. Then he called in the National Guard. But they framed it once again like John F. Kennedy was some type of civil rights hero. No, the fuck he wasn't. Hell no. Matter of fact, listen to Malcolm X call out John F. Kennedy for the same exact things I'm talking about right now.
And when I say Kennedy, I mean John F. Kennedy. The man who promised all the American so-called Negroes who vote what he was going to do for them when he got in office, and has yet to do the first thing that he promised. He's not going to open up his mouth and outright condemn the Citizens Council by name, and condemn the Ku Klux Klan by name, and condemn the white Masonic order, which is all white, by name, and the white churches in the South by name, then Kennedy is wrong.
Oh, since we got receipts, oh, y'all know we got receipts forever. If this shit has ever happened, I'm gonna get the receipts for it. Trust and believe. Black Alpha, we cash race receipts. Now, since we putting them on the table and we're exposing the myth, the lie that JFK was some type of civil rights leader for Negroes, you know Black Alpha got some motherfucking receipts. Can I put out some receipts with his wife talking about Martin Luther King? Did you ever hear when his wife called Martin Luther King a terrible person? As a matter of fact, she takes it a step further. She talked all types of dirt on our brother. All types. Now mind you, she's talking about Martin Luther King having orgies. Do you know what her husband was doing? Have you ever heard of Marilyn Monroe? That's just one. Let's not get to all the other ones. But where else y'all gonna find a certified pulling out a receipt on JFK's wife? Only right here on the Black Alpha Network. Bang that like button and subscribe. Let's get it. Listen.
The tape that the FBI had of Martin Luther King when he was here for the Freedom March. And he said this with no bitterness or anything. How he was calling up all these girls and arranging for a party of men and women. I mean, sort of an orgy in the hotel and everything. Martin Luther King? Oh, yeah.
Listen to her hating on Martin Luther King. Listen to her running all that dirt. That sounds like the same shit they saying about John Morant. That sounds like the same thing they say about Kyrie Irving. That's the big horrible Negro. That's the birth of a nation shit. And she was trying to dump that on Martin Luther King. Wasn't no love there. And remember, this is Karen. This is Karen right here. The mother of supremacy. So you know goddamn well what the men was thinking. The same thing.
So terrible. I mean, that man is, such a phony man.
She said Martin Luther King was phony. Proceed.
I just can't see a picture of Martin Luther King without thinking, that man's terrible.
She said, I can't see a picture of Martin Luther King without thinking that man is terrible. That was former First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy talking about Martin Luther King Jr. You just heard it. That right there. That's that fake civil rights savior, the face of y'all blacks movement hustle that they've been trying to use. And guarantee you, when all the curtains are closed and the doors shut, Gavin Newsom is talking that same talk today. Supremacy don't leave, it just rebrands itself. Word to the wise. So those are receipts right there, and we pulling them out. I don't give a damn if we got to go back to 1830. We're going to pull out some receipts on the Black Alpha Network, because what needs to be exposed will be exposed, and we're going to do it in our own way. Damn right. And it don't stop there. Malcolm X was calling out those liberals years ago. Everything that we say, family, every single thing that we say about the liberals, the fake allies, the Democratic Party, how they acts like they's downs with us, that shit was getting called out by Malcolm X in the 1960s. And they still run that same game today. That's why we say it's recycled racism. They can play that game where the liberals are going to come save us from the Republicans. They going to play that shit forever. As long as black folks would fall for that shit, they going to continue to try to run that shit. When we showed up, now we're making these motherfuckers look twice. They got to come up with all new tactics. We making supremacy have a makeover. Yes, the fuck we are. Because if they can get by just telling some bullshit lie and running that over and over and over and over again, then they was gonna continue to do that. Remember, your oppressor's behavior won't change unless your behavior changes. So meaning, if you believe in every fucking lie, they gonna continue to lie. Until you start exposing, G-checking, regulating, and gatekeeping, that's when these motherfuckers to change. And that's what we've been doing. We've been making these motherfuckers change. They don't know what to do. They got very comfortable in that house of supremacy, just telling one bullshit lie and all the Democratic shields follow behind them. All the Republican shields follow behind them. It wasn't until the certified black grassroots showed up and we start throwing the fucking wrench in the game. We start saying bullshit, lie, hustle, scheme, plot, plan, scheme. You better take that shit back to Mayonnaise Island, Billy Bob, because that shit don't work over here. Damn, I said Mayonnaise Island. Hey, we done increased the population in Mayonnaise Island. That's where they all go when they shit don't work on us. When they can't run no con games and they gotta go convene and have a little supremacist meeting, their asses all run to Mayonnaise Island. They crank up their meth motor, hop in their Lightsmobile, and then they go have a meeting and complain to each other why certified black society done fuck the game up for them. And we done fuck the game up for them. And it's only getting worse. So you gotta watch motherfuckers like Gavin Newsom trying to run that same liberal game. See, we done called out Joe Biden when black folks was literally calling this motherfucker Uncle Joe. We done called out Barack Obama when they were saying he was the first black president. Nobody ever fucked with Kamala Harris. She didn't even get in the door with that bullshit. So you seen the progress as we push through this cycle of us exposing people and not allowing motherfuckers to get here. Before, motherfuckers could get to the house. Then we quit allowing motherfuckers to get to the doorstep and they couldn't even get in the yard. And then the motherfucker not only couldn't get in the yard, they couldn't get in the neighborhood. Then we ran motherfuckers completely out the county, ran their ass out the state, and now if you look, motherfuckers is showing up in different countries. Stacey Abrams. So that's what we're doing. When we say we run motherfuckers off the block, we run the motherfuckers off the block. Certified Black Society got a damn good track record. We making motherfuckers pack their bags and go serve out their supremacist mission way the fuck over in Africa. Cause that shit don't work here. And when we say shit don't work here, it's all about exposing those different tactics of those different ops. And one of the main things that these ops run, the liberals, they always try to give us some type of W savior. That's what they always do. That's what they always press. And Malcolm was calling that shit out back then the same way we calling that shit out now, putting his foot on their neck. Listen to him, check him.
Of whites who have posed as liberals and as friends of the Negro and who have time and again betrayed the Negro. On the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites who have struggled for civil rights, for equality, and have got little.
Whoa, first off, listen to this guy trying to run us through the gambit. I told you, they always want to present to us an either or. They always want to present to us an A or B, a liberal or a conservative, a Republican or a Democrat. That is one of the tactics of the dominant society. They have to present to you different styles of supremacy so they can confuse you. Once you start thinking about that supremacist over there, that supremacist over there, that supremacist over there, don't focus on where they are, focus on what's in their mind. Once you understand the mentality, then the position doesn't matter. Once you understand the mentality, then the region doesn't matter. The religion doesn't matter. The political party doesn't matter. And this guy tried to run that shit on Malcolm X, but you already know that shit wasn't gonna work. So he's trying to say, well, some are good, some are bad, some are up, some are down, some are east and some are west. And they do that so they can run black folks in a circle, and then black folks are so confused and say, well, I don't know what to believe. And us, all of us right now, Certified Black Society, we say, I don't give a fuck about the east, the west, the north, or the south. All y'all are supremacists. And you all got that same raggedy ass mentality. And Malcolm X calls them and says, all right, give me an example of everything you saying. So basically, he was trying to run that liberal con game, that supremacist hustle, and Malcolm didn't go for none of that shit. Proceed.
Of whites who have posed as liberals and as friends of the Negro and who have time and again betrayed the Negro. On the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites who have struggled for civil rights, for equality, and have got little or nothing.
Give me an example.
Other than quite a few bruises.
Give me an example.
Well, the large number of white students who have gone into the South, for example, working for SNCC and other organizations.
Not working for SNCC or other organizations, but working for the white political machines who benefit by the voting efforts of Negroes.
Okay. I'll be more specific.
Damn.
I would cite Herbert Hill, for example, as a kind of person who has championed Negro job rights, for example. Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has been betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported by the white liberals.
Damn, Malcolm cooking them. Malcolm was cooking them. Now notice how this guy started off talking about how liberals had betrayed black folks. And he was trying to run that gambit of A, B, left, and right, upside down, right? But then notice when Malcolm flipped it on him, now all of a sudden this guy's saying, well, a lot of Negroes have traded on Negroes. See, he wanted to use that Republican versus Democrat, liberal versus conservative. And when he seen Malcolm wasn't going for that, then he just started saying, well, y'all black folks turn on each other too. What about black on black crime? You see what happens when you press them? They get very motherfucking desperate. And that's exactly what happens when you certified and you don't fall for none of their bait, none of their cons, none of their tricks. Your number one rule is annihilation. You don't answer none of their questions. You don't follow them down no alley. You don't take none of their fucking bait. You tell them what time it is. And when you do it, you see they go from blaming this group to that group. And then eventually they'll come right back along to where they always were. And that's blaming black folks. And like I said, family, notice how Malcolm got this guy flip-flopping. This is a masterclass on how you handle supremacy. Malcolm got this guy all against the ropes. He don't know what the fuck to do. You should see him. He's looking down. He's saying, This supremacist is all shook the fuck up. Because any supremacist who steps in a room with a certified finds out real motherfucking quick they dealing with a whole different breed and they get their asses canceled. So look how he's 1 minute blaming the Negroes, then he's blaming the liberals, then he's blaming the liberals, then he's blaming the Negroes. He's going all over the fucking place. It's because he cannot handle that Malcolm's got something for everything he throws. He and his motherfucker playing supremacist hopscotch. Listen how Malcolm got him.
Opposed as liberals and as friends of the Negro and who have time and again betrayed the Negro.
That's him blaming the liberal. Now watch him flip-flop and start blaming black folks.
Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes.
Now watch him flip back and start blaming the liberals again.
Of whites who have posed as liberals.
Back again.
Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes. Of whites who have posed as liberals and as friends of the Negro and who have time and again betrayed the Negro.
He don't know what he wanted to do. See, he wanted to come out there and run us around and do the full circle. And then he just said, well, fuck it, y'all do it to each other. See what I'm talking about? That's what they do when they get desperate. That's what they do when you keep on cooking them. And that's the same exact thing that all the liberals do. Notice Joe Biden does that shit. Joe Biden sit there all day long and talk about Republicans. And as soon as you start calling out his ass, he'll start saying, well, you ain't black. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. When you start calling them out, they start talking about, well, y'all super predators. Y'all remember when Bill Clinton got mad? And he had his little outburst of supremacist Tourette syndrome. Those protesters pressed him and he started saying, all y'all black people was on crack. It's y'all fault. I told you, they'll blame each other until it's time to blame you.
See these other signs? This is what's the matter. I don't know how you would characterize the gang leaders who got 13-year-old kids hopped up on crack and sent them out onto the street to murder other African-American children. Maybe you thought they were good citizens. She didn't. She didn't. You are defending the people who kill the lives you say matter. Tell the truth. You are defending the people who caused young people to go out and take guns. There was a 13-year-old girl in Washington, D.C. who was planting her own photos. How would you do it? Now, look at this other one. Look at this. That's not true.
He mad. Hey, he pissed off.
Now, let's talk about the other thing.
That's the real Bill Clinton. Whenever you start getting on their ass, they'll stop blaming each other and they'll turn that shit on the black people because that's what it's really about. All that other shit is just a little spat to benefit from. In reality, the core of them wants to say what he was just saying. Oh, and by the way, everything he said right there, that was him justifying the 1994 crime bill that him and Joe Biden put together. So you see, no remorse. Real talk again, family. Barack Obama, you talking about your cousin Pookie. It don't matter. They will always try to blame each other until you call them out, and then they realize that blaming each other shit ain't working, so they go back to just blaming black folks. But that was on square one. That's what they was thinking from the beginning. That's why this guy did a whole circle and came right back to blaming black folks. When has a supremacist ever called out supremacy? They never do, unless they're blaming each other. And they'll only do that as much as we accept it. When we don't accept it, we say both of y'all are bad, then they'll go back to that mayonnaise island and they'll say, well, shit, let's not blame each other no more. That shit ain't working. Let's both get together now and blame them. And that's what you see with the Republicans and the Democrats. They'll team up with each other when all that blaming each other shit does not work. And right now, family, that shit ain't working. What I say, you let them talk long enough and they'll expose themselves. Well, we done let these motherfuckers talk long enough and we done expose their ass. Now watch how brother Malcolm X rejected that bullshit, dismissed that bullshit, and then brought it right back to what it is. Black empowerment.
These doubts about the intelligence of the nonviolence in the civil rights struggle. He went on to declare that he could no longer be asked to love those who persecuted and killed Negroes. He also, and the writer, Mr. Handler, who's describing this, said that Killins, it was not clear concerning Killins' remarks to his audience that he was breaking with it was clear rather to his audience that he was breaking with the doctrine of the Reverend Martin Luther King's philosophy that as Christians, Negroes should love their fellow man in a truly religious sense. Now, James Baldwin, speaking on that same platform, said, and I was present during this entire affair, asserted that the American people shared a collective guilt for the persecution of Negroes, much as Germans did because of their silence during the Nazi persecution. He denounced President Kennedy for what he termed Kennedy's lack of passion.
That motherfucking part. And you should see the faces of those ancient supremacists while Malcolm X is speaking. They was trying to butter Malcolm up with the be nice to everybody. There's some good W's out there. Oh, don't vote for that W, vote for this W. We all on one side, we the human race. Malcolm said, fuck that. The tide is turning, people are getting woke, people are understanding what's happening, and they're breaking the strides of the get along with everybody shit, and they're getting on some black empowerment shit, the same black empowerment that we putting out today. So when we say the energy is strong, the energy is strong. When we say we live and in live in color, we live and in live in color, and everybody is seeing it because we putting it out. That's what Malcolm was speaking of, and they were just sitting there, they was like, shit, we try to hit them with every tactic, we try to do recycled racism. See, recycled racism today is them going back in the 1960s. Recycled racism for them was going back in the 1860s, all right? And that shit ain't work. So you can go to the 18s, the 19s, the 17s, the 13s. We don't give a fuck. You can go way back to a cave. At the end of the day, when you see some certified BLACK riders, none of that shit gets off because we always win. And if you caught that, he spoke about how he was present when he heard James Baldwin, our brother James Baldwin, say how John F. Kennedy was being rejected. And they weren't fucking with John F. Kennedy, and they were exposing him the same way that we're exposing Gavin Newsom today. It always goes full circle, family. Ain't nothing new under the sun. The same way that they was exposing John F. Kennedy for not having a goddamn thing to do with civil rights. The same way brothers and sisters was not praising Abraham Lincoln for freeing the slaves. Black folks freed their goddamn selves. It's the same way that we are exposing Gavin Newsom, all the liberals, that they are not leading our reparations claim. The only people leading the reparations claim for certified foundational black Americans is certified foundational black Americans. That is it. We don't have to go outside of the circle. No one's going to get any credit. No one's going to get no fucking handshake, no dap, no hug, no nothing. It's going to be us getting our money, and we can pat our own selves on the goddamn back. And we can start right now because we getting closer to the bag, and you starting to hear that goddamn cash register chinging. And the more that cash register starts to chinging, the more motherfuckers start popping up everywhere, and the more they start getting real meticulous with their con games. Notice how Gavin Newsom tried to flip-flop on everybody, because that's what he did. He came out and he talked about money and cash and all that. We know they was gonna do this shit. It ain't hard to read a supremacist when you already understand what the mentality is. What Neely Fuller said, if you do not understand supremacy, everything else will confuse you. Well, we are not confused because we understand supremacy. Is anybody shocked that a supremacist politician comes around and he says, I'll help y'all with reparations, I support cash reparations, and then they flip-flopped on us? Would that shock anybody if they told you this 5 years ago? Would you be surprised if we found out that a bunch of motherfuckers is gonna pretend to have our backs and then flip-flop? Hell to the no. You can't get that shit off on us because we don't fall for it. You can go pull that shit on the Dynacoons, the old motherfuckers. They may fall for that shit over and over. This ain't the Democratic plantation. This is the House and Certified Black Society bill. And you better wipe your feet when you step to that motherfucking door, or we gonna Uncle Phil your ass right out the door. And that's what we've been doing, one by one, step for step, and we don't give a fuck who you are. If you come around and you got any type of animosity, smoke, vitriol, jealousy for us, you try to hustle us, scheme us, plot on us, or run interference on our money, your ass is gonna get G-checked ASAP. And we've been G-checking motherfuckers ASAP. And that's what it is. See, there's no blueprint. There's no manuscript. There's nothing to read here. We've taken reparations further than it's ever been, family. We can't go back in time and see, oh, that's how they got reparations. Oh, let's go get it the way they did back then. No, when I say this is history in the making, and we all are our own page in this history book, and they will talk about us 50, 100, 200 years from now, I mean that shit. And the best part about it is, fam, we making up as we go. We have been placed in a position that is so important. We had to clean house, we had to regulate, we had to handle supremacy all at the same time while we're getting our money. Nobody's had to deal with this. So when I say this generation hit different, this generation hit different. Nobody gave us a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, we started 50 fucking feet behind everybody else because the old Negroes didn't want to give us anything. So we had to catch up to everybody, caught up with them. We had to lap them motherfuckers, lapped them. We had to regulate motherfuckers, regulated. We had to run every coon, Sambo, tether, off-code motherfucker off the block, ran them off the block, and we still got time to handle supremacy. Come on. And how you know we handling supremacy? Because all those videos of all these people running up on black people, fighting our sisters. When's the last time you seen a video with somebody just running up on the foundational black American? And if you have seen the video, you ain't seen it as much as you were before. You ain't seen it as much as you used to. Them videos of us being victims are slowly going the fuck away. Them videos of us fighting back are quickly going the fuck up. So when we've been saying we're getting our self-defense game up, it ain't just some people on Twitter. It ain't just Instagram. It ain't just social media talk. Nope. We've been saying we was gonna do it, and we've been out here doing it. We said we was gonna get money, we out here getting money. We say ain't nobody gonna run up on us, and motherfuckers ain't running up on us. The message has been delivered, and the message has been received. You fuck with FBA, you gonna catch wreck. And that's the way it should have always been, but it don't matter because that's the way it is now. We're not leaving the next generation a bunch of can't we all get along, vote blue no matter who, and all lives matter. Nope. We leaving the next generation reparations, tangibles, and if you fuck with us, you gonna find out. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Because this is the first time in history where liberals are getting called on they shit. Malcolm X was calling them out back then, but it was only a few people. Now you got a whole certified black grassroots who don't fall for the overt, covert, the good cop, bad cop shit. All that good cop, bad cop shit, man, we done put that to rest. We done put that to rest. You can't come around here no more and saying, I'm a good one, that's the bad one. I'm your savior. I'm here to save you from the Republicans. Black folks today ain't going for that shit. Have you seen Joe Biden's approval rating? Have you seen it? It's in the motherfucking trash can. And black folks are saying, you are just as a supremacist as anybody else. Nice try. Gavin Newsom, you are just a supremacist as DeSantis. Y'all can go back and forth. Y'all can bicker. You can blame each other. You can point the fucking finger. At the end of the day, Certified Black Society, we pointing our fingers at both y'all motherfuckers. That's what it is. So we putting an end to all of that and they don't know what to do. Notice how Brother Malcolm, he said, nah, y'all only come for black folks when y'all can benefit off the vote. He was giving us that message back then, and now today in this generation, we're taking it and we're implementing it and we running with it. We know all that shit they do is always some con game to get votes. Outside of getting black people to vote for the Democratic Party, they don't give a flying fuck. Straight up and down. And you see right now they really twisted because they wanted to get all these illegals to come in and vote for them. But the illegals, they vote for the Republican Party. And that done put the Democrats between a rock and a motherfucking hard place. They don't know what to do. See, they thought that they were going to replace their number one voter block, black people, with illegal aliens because they seen the black grassroots quit fucking with them. See, if they could always go get the old black folks to vote blue no matter who, then they would just continue to run that game forever. Get a couple of illegals here, get a couple of illegals there, but they thought they'd always have black folks that they could fall back on. That's until we showed up. And every single thing that we're saying about exposing the liberal, conservative, the overt, the covert, the good cop, bad cop, and calling liberals out on their bullshit. Every single thing that Malcolm X was saying when he was calling out those folks on their bullshit. We done did it right now. So once we started taking away that black vote, we started saying no tangibles, no vote, no reparations, no vote, and that black vote started disappearing in the middle of the motherfucking night. Them Democrats is scared. They shook. They don't know what to do next. So they picked up that phone and they said, let's bring in all the goddamn illegals. Everybody, y'all come on over here and we gonna give y'all a driver's license and the right to vote on the first day. That's why they try to run all that voter rights game on us, so they can get the illegals to vote. But I'm gonna tell you why that shit ain't working. I'm gonna tell you why that shit ain't gonna work. And I'm gonna tell you why Certified Black Society got the Democrats in a motherfucking headlock. Reason being is because illegals come over here and they don't vote for Democrats, they vote for Republicans. Yes, and we're gonna connect all the goddamn dots right here on the Black Alpha Network. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Appreciate it. The reason why all those illegals come over here and they vote for the Republican Party and not the Democrats, and the reason why that whole hustle that the Democrats thought they had about getting illegals to replace us as their number one voter bloc will never work, is because the type of supremacy that all those illegals practice in their homeland is not no we gonna play nice to black people supremacy. Nah, they want to come over here for proximity. Remember what I say, all immigration is proximity to whiteness. That's all the fuck it is. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody give you no sob story, no humanitarian story. It's all about coming here so you can live next to Karen and Ken because that's who you think you are in your home country. See, in they home countries, they act like they Karen and Ken and they dominate all the darker people. So when they come over here, they feel that they're not honorary no more. They feel they're accepted. That's why they start changing their name. Motherfucking name will go from Julio to Bob. Motherfucking name will go from Sanchez to Scott. Motherfucking name will go from Gonzalez to Greg. No, motherfucker. You ain't hopping over no barbed wire fence, swimming across no polluted river, walking around rattlesnakes and scorpions, risking being thirsty and hungry just to get to America for fun. You doing all that shit because you want to be next to W's. These motherfuckers could get their homelands popping right now if they took all that energy. Take all the energy you see where a motherfucker is walking miles through a desert. A motherfucker hopping over some shit and swimming over some shit. If you took that same energy and applied it to your homeland would be popping. But you ain't trying to do that. You want to come over here and they willing to risk it all. I'm telling you right now, when you swim through some of them goddamn rivers, you willing to risk it all. When you hopping over some of them fences, you willing to risk it all. When you coming across a goddamn scorpion and a goddamn rattlesnake in a goddamn desert, your ass is willing to risk it all. But you gotta ask the question, who are you trying to risk it all for? We know who it is. Goddamn right, over here on the certified side, we gonna do what we always do best. Call out all the shit motherfuckers is afraid to say. Your ass is willing to risk it all so you can come over here and get a date with Karen or Ken. That's what the fuck it is. And these are the people that the Democrats are trying to use to replace us as their number one voter bloc. So this is the rock and the hard place that we got these motherfuckers in. Because the black grassroots has took away all of your black vote. Yes, it is. Every single election, the black vote is going less and less to the Democratic Party. They see the trends. They see the forecast. Trust me, you got people who are paid to be number crunchers. They literally get paid to watch all the patterns in voting. And the one pattern that we see, we know they asked to see, but they may not want to admit it, is that the black vote is steadily declining for the Democrats. Now what the fuck they gonna do? They gonna try to get them illegals to vote. But them illegals are coming over here and casting their ballot for the Republican Party because that version of supremacy is the version that they subscribe to. Yes, the legals and all the peoples of colors, the version of supremacy that they like is the version that they practice in their homelands. Oh, Black Alpha gonna put it down right now. All of that, we gonna play nice to black folks. We gonna pretend to be allies. That shit liberals do so they can trick us and con us. These motherfuckers in their homelands, they treat black people like dirt. They walk around black folks. All the black folks in South America are in the slums. They don't even show up on the census. They got the worst food and the worst clothing. So you think somebody who practices that honorary I wish I was mascot supremacy is gonna come over here and play nice to black folks like Gavin Newsom, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden? Hell no. They don't wanna do that shit. They want to come over here and damn near be in the Klan. They want to put on some goddamn sheets. They subscribe to that hardline supremacy. Go down to Latin America or any of those border places. They're not down there running some type of ally, fake friend supremacy. They don't play good cop supremacy in Latin America. We're going to say that right now. They don't play good cop supremacy in any of those border towns. So when they come over here, they want to vote Republican. And this is how bad it is, family. Not only are these people willing to walk through a goddamn desert, swim over polluted rivers, hop over fences, all that shit, scorpions, snakes, the whole nine, and still get over here and vote for Republicans. The Democrats literally give them everything, and they still vote for Republicans. So what the fuck the Democrats got on that? What they gonna do next? I'm talking about amnesty, free healthcare, free education, all types of welfare benefits, loans, things that foundational black Americans or just any American doesn't even have access to. Look at New York City, we talk about it all the time. They're getting Airbnbs, sleeping in 5-star fucking hotels. Joe Biden was giving them $400 a piece, breaking them off. So the Democrats are literally bending over backwards to make them their new voter bloc. And they still vote for fucking Republicans. So you know the supremacy that they subscribe to is that Republican in your face shit. They not here to play games and play fake ally, because they don't do that in their homeland. So if the Democrats can give them all of that, the Democrats can give them everything for free. The Democrats can write every policy to bring them over here and elevate them above American citizens, and they still vote for the other party. And then on this side, the black grassroots have exposed all that fake liberal, fake friend, fake ally, Gavin Newsom, no cash reparations, a quarter pounder and a Big Mac. What the fuck do the Democrats have left? Nowhere to go. And that's why you're seeing the decline of the Democratic Party, and you're watching it play the fuck out right now. Checkmate. Man, if that ain't some goddamn dots we just connected, if that ain't some receipts we done threw on the table, I don't know what is. We done put out so many receipts at this point, we gonna need a calculator. We gonna have to call in an accountant, because we got them all laid the fuck out. And every single thing we say, just like this era, is accurate, on point, and that's why we're making things move. The process is moving right along. Despite however the fuck they feel about it, despite if they get in their feelings or their emotions, it's all strictly business, and we about that life. You know it's fucked up. You got Republicans saying we don't want you here, we building a wall, get out our country, and these motherfuckers still say, I ain't going to vote for Republican. You got Democrats saying, we gonna give you free housing, free education, we gonna get you a cook and a maid and play Xbox and Nintendo with you, and they say, I still want to vote Republican. You know they subscribe to that. I wish I was a W. I wish I was Karen. I wish I was Ken. I don't want to be a mascot. I don't want to be honorary no more. I want full access. They willing to do it all for full access. And the Republican Party is on that type of time, so that's where the fuck they trying to go vote, even if the door gets slammed in their face. And that's what Democratic shields don't realize. Ain't none of these other people of colors coming over here and want to share a party with your ass. These damn black Democrats think somebody want to come over here and share a political party with you. They don't even want to share a country with you. The same way that they come over here and they want to erase us and take our reparations is the same way they want to erase your ass out the Democratic Party. Do not be surprised in a couple years if you don't see one black Democrat and all you see is people of color. Hell, you see it now. And the black folks that you see are tethers, and they're not even from America. You slowly are starting to see less and less black folks in the Democratic Party. You starting to see more and more people of color or more diaspora tethers. And these folks running around here thinking somebody want to share a party with them. Mr. Muhammad is not flying in from his anti-black country and trying to share a political party with a black person, because he don't have to do that shit in his homeland. Mr. Julio is not flying in, or shall I say hopping the border into this country and trying to share the Democratic Party with you, because he don't have to do that shit in his own homeland. All of these people come from anti-black homelands. That's what people have to understand. 99.9% of people of color who come to this country are coming from a anti-black country that wants to be a supremacist. So nobody's coming over here trying to share a goddamn thing with black folks, and that goes from a neighborhood and definitely not a political party. You think Mr. Muhammad gonna sit there at a meeting with a bunch of Democrats and have to hear you talk to him as an equal when he ain't got to do that shit in his homeland? You think Julio, Sanchez, Chang is gonna do that? Hell no. If you think so, go look at all the political parties, all the governments, all the politicians in their homelands, and tell me how many black people you see. Go ahead, tell me how many black people you see in any of these governments outside of the United States of America. Hell, you got places in Africa and they got Asian politicians calling shots. How many black politicians do you see in Asia? How many black politicians do you see in Mexico? In the Middle East, the whole Middle East? Name me 3. Now flip that and tell me how many poor people you see out there. Yeah, because the poor people are all in the slums. You want to go see some black folks outside of America, you go to the slums. That's why when they come over here and they talk all that bullshit about foundational black Americans, it's out of jealousy because they see we're living better than them. We dress better, we walk better, we got better clothes, we drive better cars. They're not used to black folks getting it in the way foundational black Americans get it in. See, there's a culture shock anytime a non-black person comes to America. And I'm gonna tell you what that culture shock is. They're not used to confident, on point, on game, focused, prideful black people, because those black people in their homelands don't exist. And if they do exist, they're in those slums I was just telling you about. They don't ever see no black folks getting money the way we get money. They don't see no black folks getting paid the way we getting paid. See, that's what's fucking them up, because they see us talking about reparations. People in their homelands, they ain't demanding $2. Hell no. We out here talking about $1 trillion debt. It's one thing for a black person to have money, and it's another thing for a black person to say, hey, we owed trillions, we coming to get that shit. They ain't used to no black people making no goddamn demands over no money. They ain't used to black folks saying, you ain't gonna play me, you gonna pay me. Let me say that twice. You ain't gonna play me, you gonna pay me for every single thing that my ancestors had to deal with. For my ancestors building this country, the same country that everybody wants to run to, you gonna give up that goddamn money. Black folks in America are the only black folks who demand money. Everywhere else, those black folks are sitting in the slums wishing that they could be like the lighter people. So no, you don't see no black folks with pride with their chest out walking with that step. We walk with that step, we walk with that bop. We invented swag. They don't have swag in these other countries. No offense to them, but right here in foundational black America, we show improve. They don't do that. So there's a culture shock every single time somebody comes here. I was just telling somebody recently. I said, the biggest culture shock that people get when they come to this country, it ain't food, it ain't weather, it ain't environment. Hell no. All that shit comes after the fact that they get culture shock because they ain't never seen black people talk the way we talk. They ain't seen black people step the way we step. That fucks everybody up. They don't know what to do and they don't know how to handle it. So they resort to that jealousy that we refer to. They resort to that vitriol that we refer to. They think they're gonna come over here and talk to foundational black Americans the same way they talk to black Latinos. The same way they talk to black people in Haiti or black folks in Jamaica. Y'all see the way black folks across the world get talked to? Who the fuck talk to us like that? You don't come to America and talk down to us. You come to America and you wipe your feet at that motherfucking door. Ain't nobody gonna come over here and treat us like black folks in the diaspora or black folks in Mesoamerica. Hell to the no. And that culture shocks the fuck out of them. Right now, anybody go to one of these border towns, go down to Florida as a black American and just walk through the spot as clean as you are, as fresh as you are, your whole style, your whole energy, your whole confidence, and just watch all the non-black Americans and look how mad they get. Look at them. Look at all the foreigners, all the folks of colors. Look at how mad they get, how upset they get, and how culture shocked they are. It's all in their face. I was just down in Florida, and the way I was strutting and the way I was moving and walking, you could just look at folks coming in from Venezuela, Cuba, Puerto Rico. They was looking at me like, why is that black person so confident? They're not like that in our homeland. Why does that black person have pride? Why does that black person love being black? They're not like that in my homeland. In my homeland, they don't want to be black. They want to be like us. Damn, that black America just bumped me out the way. In my homeland, I tell all the black people, get out the way. If they tell a black person down there to jump, the black people down there say how high. Y'all see that lady that runs around and she be just smashing on Jamaica, that Asian lady, y'all seen her? She be out there telling Jamaicans, this is what it is, I don't give a fuck, this is my land, just straight up colonizing them. She colonizing them on TikTok. How the fuck are you getting colonized on TikTok? And you ain't seen none of the Jamaicans have no smoke for her. I ain't seen one. Not one. Now, you might turn on TikTok and see a TikTok tether talking all that shit about certified foundational black Americans, but yet you got this lady right now just G-checking them every day. Every time you see her upload a video and she telling Jamaicans what the fuck she gon' do. And that's her homeland, and they better abide, and they ain't got no smoke for her. So when you look all across the spectrum, this is the type of time, this is the type of energy that you see from non-black black Americans. So anytime these people come here and they deal with real certified black Americans, they are shook the fuck up because we're different. We always say that we're exceptional, and all you gotta do is sit back and watch the results, and it will show you just how exceptional we are. So if that's the case, where do you think any of these people come here and see black Democrats and Republicans as partners or constituents or friends? The only people whose minds that shit is in is a Democrat or a Republican shield. Nobody wants to come over here and share no party. They don't want to share no neighborhood. They don't want to share no street. They don't want to share a dollar with the black person. So what makes a Democratic shield think that they're in a party of all people? Hell to the no. Just like Minister Farrakhan G-checked that lady in the beginning when she was talking that we are the world shit. We G-checked these Democratic shields and Republican shields because there ain't no we are the world. You can be in that we are the world shit. You can play that game all you want to, but let me tell you, you're playing that shit all by your lonesome because us certifieds, we know the deal. It's black first, black only, just black, certified, FBA, family tree. And have you noticed that all the black Democrats you see, they're old. They're old, like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. These motherfuckers is in their 70s and 80s. That's all you see is old black Democrats. All the young black Democrats, they ain't nothing but news anchors. Them motherfuckers is on CNN getting chump change. You don't see no new black politicians in the Democratic Party. No, you do not. Not at all. But I'll tell you what you do keep seeing. You see all new young POCs in the Democratic Party. The first black Latin senator, 27. The first Asian governor, 32. The first Arabic councilman, 35. Black folks is still old from the civil rights era in the Democratic Party. You know why that's the case? Because they're being phased out for the POCs. When the black grassroots, we quit voting for the Democratic Party, all those Democratic coons, they done went to that coon unemployment line. Yeah, they out of business. Mind you, the only job of a black Democrat or a black Republican is to fool black folks to go vote. That's it. So what happens when we don't vote no more? Them motherfuckers all get a pink slip. And them pink slips are being handed out, and at the very same time pink slips are being handed out to black Democratic shields, green cards are being handed out to POC Democratic shields. See, understand, when we say no tangibles, no vote, the power in that is more than just an election. The power in that is that we can control the employment of the Democratic shields. If you ever want to get a Democratic shield out of business, don't vote for the Democratic Party. And they gonna call every last one of them motherfuckers to the principal's office, and they all gonna get fired. So no tangibles, no vote. Oh, that's deeper than just reparations. That's us actually in the palm of our hands controlling the future of any Democratic coon. And if you look, that's exactly what we're doing. Because the Democrats are saying, we're not getting our returns back. We put all this money into getting black folks to vote, but the black grassroots is controlling the narrative for the black community. So therefore, that renders all the Democratic shills, Roland Martin, Stacey Abrams, Raphael Warnock, that renders all of them useless. So they look in hell. We need to go ahead and just get us some POCs because you cannot have both, especially if black folks ain't voting for them no more. Why would they need new black Dems? It's just not a good investment for supremacy. It's just not. They'd rather invest in the POCs to get their young generations to vote. They understand that the next generation of young black folks are moving away from the Democratic Party. So in a desperate attempt, the last thing they're trying to do is say, man, fuck this. Let's try to go get the next generation of POCs to vote. But then they're going to run back into them young generation of POCs all subscribe to Republican supremacy. So that's why we say the Democratic Party is crashing down fast as fuck and the black grassroots got it all wrapped up. We locked in, family. Salute to our goddamn selves because we did that. So just watch. You're seeing people like Gavin Newsom, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. They're trying to set up these illegals for positions in the future. Oh shit, I got another goddamn receipt. We cash receipts on the way to cashing receipts. Did you see who Joe Biden just selected to run his 2024 campaign? Family, we're saying that they're trying to put these people in position. We're saying they're phasing out all the black Democratic shields for all new POC Democratic shields. And what did Joe Biden just do? He elected a Latino woman to head his 2024 campaign. Trust me, they do all that with a rhyme and a reason. That's because what we just said. They're trying to get the young POC vote, the illegal POC vote, the outside of this country POC vote, and they can fade away from the black Democratic shields because the black grassroots have ran them all out of business. Checkmate.
And we are learning that President Biden has a campaign manager in mind for his 2024 re-election bid. He's expected to appoint Julie Chavez Rodriguez to the position. Right now, she's the White House Director of Intergovernmental Affairs. And CBS News has confirmed Mr. Biden is expected to launch his re-election campaign
Checkmate.
as soon as tomorrow. But new polling shows 70% of Americans do not think Biden should run again. And that includes 51% of Democrats. CBS News political director Finn Gomez is following all of these developments for us from Washington. Hey, Vin.
More
Vin
receipts.
Adler, it's really good to see you.
Good to see you too.
What are you hearing about this?
Yeah, as you mentioned, President Biden is expected to name Julie Chavez Rodriguez, a senior West Wing official and longtime Democratic Party activist, to manage his re-election campaign. Three people familiar with the plan tell CBS News. Chavez Rodriguez currently serves as senior advisor and assistant to the president. She's also currently the senior-most Latino official in the West Wing and one of just a few Latinas to ever climb that high on a presidential staff in either party.
One more time. You see, family, all of that has every single thing to do with why he was saying y'all gonna have to work more with Latinos. They're getting their whole play in position to try to get the POC vote, but they're continuously running into that opposition of the black grassroots and the I wish I was a Karen, I wish I was a Ken coming from that same POC community. So you see the desperation. They on the phone now, they say, man, listen, let's get Miss Sanchez Gomez Rodriguez. She can come on in and hopefully she can do something for us, because what we're doing right now ain't working. And it's our job to keep that shit not working. And that's exactly the way we excelling. So let's keep on that motherfucking grind. This is what's happening. And you look at Gavin Newsom. How you know Gavin Newsom ain't shit? Look at all the positions he's trying to put illegals in. Look at all of them. Because like I said before, he was pro-reparations and he's pro-immigration. That's bullshit. You can't be both. You cannot be pro-reparations and pro-immigration. Black Alpha, I have said that consistently, constantly, and I will continue to say it. Anybody who comes around and says that they support immigration and reparations is a goddamn liar. You show me somebody who says that, and I'm going to show you somebody who's full of shit. And if you watch closely, that's exactly what Gavin Newsom is trying to do. He went from pro-cash payments to all of a sudden now it ain't about the cash. Listen to the trick bag language though, family. When we were hearing those news clips about him saying that he's separating from cash and he's not on it, I want you to notice something that we caught at the tail end. A lot of people missed this. I'm gonna play it right now. Listen to how he threw in some type of all lives matter language, which goes to show what we always say. You can't be reparations and immigration because they're gonna try to give the immigrants all your reparations money. And listen to the way that Gavin fake ass JFK Newsom tried to slide in that language where he thought nobody caught it, but you know right here, we see everything a mile away.
In a statement, the governor did give an indication if he'd give back direct payments, saying dealing with that legacy is about much more than cash payments. Much of the recommendations.
All right, he's trying to backpedal here, but listen, fam.
Critical action items we've already been hard at work addressing. Went on to say he looks forward to working with the legislature to adopt an inclusive and equitable future.
That right there, that part, family. Did you hear that last statement he threw in at the end? One little fallback piece he tried to slide before he left. Motherfucker thought he was slick too. Oh hell no, we catch all this shit. They ain't gonna run that past us. No, Certified Black Society own it. I'm gonna read the whole thing. He said, dealing with the legacy is much more than cash reparations. Many other recommendations put forward by the task force are critical action items we've already been hard at work addressing. And then they say, end quote. But if you listen to this anchor lady, she said he also threw this in there.
Went on to say he looks forward to working with the legislature to adopt an inclusive and equitable future. Inclusive.
Whoa, one more time.
Went on to say he looks forward to working with the legislature to adopt an
inclusive,
equitable future.
You see why it's got to be policy over party, policy over politician, policy over bullshit. Because if you don't watch them, they'll slide in some shit like inclusive. And we all know inclusive means all lives matter. That's exactly what it means. Inclusive means all lives matter. Black and brown means all lives matter. POC means all lives matter. Minorities means all lives matter. And they'll try to take the term repentance and replace reparations. And repentance means forgiveness. This is the type of shit they be on. And this is why we be putting that pressure on them. Not 1 inch can you give these motherfuckers. Because they'll take every single inch you give them and hand every single dollar over to these immigrants. That's what it's all about. What they want to do is not give us reparations at all and hope that shit goes away. away. That's what they really want. They wanted the reparations conversation to go away. That's why they try to stall us out. That's why they try to run interference. That's why they try to throw all these different groups in our direction, and we done handled every last one of them motherfuckers. Now what? Now they're stuck. See, they didn't think that these task force will go this long. They didn't think brothers and sisters in this reparations movement, and this is the reparations era, they will write books about this era, and we will all be a part of it because we are the ones controlling it. They didn't think it would go this long. They thought they were dealing with the old black folks from back in the day, the old Negroes. Hell to the no. They dealing with a whole new breed, and we coming with that heat. Yes, indeed. So right now, what they have to realize is we're not going away. This is the new norm. Ain't nobody hitting no race U-turns. We not going back down Coon Avenue. Can't we all just get along? And Martin Luther King had a dream boulevard. We going down that cut the motherfucking check boulevard, and they will cut the check. So they thought we'd get tired. They thought black folks would get sleepy and go take a nap for 30 years, and we would just hand away the money. What I always say, family, they was looking for black folks and the wrong one showed up. Yes, and they don't fuck with the right black folks, but they don't fuck with us on the wrong day. So that's where all the ops are coming from, and that's why we're breaking down every option. We're gonna have to continue to break down the ops. The more ops they throw at us, the more we gonna identify, the more we gonna regulate. And this is regulating season. And when it's regulated season, then you already know motherfuckers is gonna have to run it. So what's the main plan, family? Since they realize that reparations is not going away, since they realize we ain't getting stalled out, we ain't getting tired, you ain't gonna run us through the bullshit and the lies, what's the very next thing they want to do? And I've always said this right here on the Black Alpha Network. Smash that like button. Certified salute to the family. What do I always say? They first want to not give reparations. And if they're forced to cut reparations, they want to spread it around to everybody else. That's what they want to do. They want to say, well, we gave reparations. We gave it to everybody. That's the next plan. See, the last 2-3 years has been them trying to get us to stop talking about it. And once they realize that we're not going to stop talking about it and our voices are actually getting louder, now they're saying, how can we trick them with reparations? Now we're into the reparations trick. All right, before it was the reparations prevent, it was the reparations stop, it was the reparations resistance. We done conquered that. That's conquered, family. Let's say that now. Let's put that on the motherfucking table right here, right now. The reparations resistance and the reparations prevention is over. We put that to bed. Salute our goddamn self again. So what's the next step that they're trying to get into now? Now they're trying to do what I've always warned right here on the Black Alpha Network. They're trying to give our reparations to immigrants. They're trying to cut the check for everybody. Why you think every week somebody's showing up with a new type of reparations con game? Everybody on the planet now want reparations. Reparations is at the tip of everybody's tongue. Now everybody knows the word. Everybody got a claim. Everybody got some type of situation or scenario that says that they deserve reparations. 99.9% of the people who say that they support our reparations are trying to steal our reparations. I don't care if it's a politician. I don't care if it's a political party. I don't care if it's another group, foreign or domestic. They only come around because they see that cash money. And we about to clock that cash money, and they got to try to get their little paws on it. It don't matter who. Y'all see family every day as somebody saying, well, what about reparations for this group? What about reparations for that group? What about reparations for that group over there? You got motherfuckers coming here to America saying they want reparations from our country for some shit that didn't even happen in our country. So you know what type of time it is, and you know the game that they playing. So people like Gavin Newsom, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, 1.0 and 2.0, both of them, they're all trying to run this game where, okay, certified foundational Black Americans won't quit talking, so how can we trick them? How can we make it look like we gave them reparations, but we really gave it to somebody else? And if you watch and you study the dominant society, they've done this for years. They've always done this. This is one of their routines. They'll sit there and say, well, we gave you affirmative action. But affirmative action went to everybody except for Black folks. Hell, W women benefit from affirmative action, but they'll never tell you that. They'll say, no, we gave that to you. They love putting out a policy that affects everybody else, but putting Black on it. You understand? You'll sit there and see a headline and they'll say black, 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 black. When you read the fine details in the fine print, it says minority, minority, minority. They love doing that. They know when to put black in the headline. See, the headline is what confuses people. And since a lot of folks is running out here chasing fake victories, thinking they arrived, we done came so long, they never look at the fine details. See, that's what they don't like about us. Certified foundational Black Americans, we read the motherfucking contract. What does the contract say? Fuck the headline. Fuck the billboard. What does the fine print say? We read the fine print. We'll comb through that motherfucker and be like, nope. Page 29, chapter 2.5, A and B, that shit says minority. Chapter 36, 4.5, section C4, that shit says people of color. I want foundational Black American. Our verbiage is so airtight, precise, and concise, they never expected it. They never expected it because they spent trillions of dollars and years trying to get us to be loosey-goosey, to where anybody can flow, anybody can slide in, anybody can use the fine print. Words are powerful, and once we got our word game on point, created new terminologies or even dusted off old terminologies, and then we presented that shit back to the world, they don't know what to do. What the fuck you gonna do to a lineage that you can't trick with words? What the fuck you gonna do to a lineage that you can't trick with words? They relied on tricking us with words. Our whole fucking existence has been them tricking us with words. Freedom, we shall overcome. I had a dream. Can't we all get along? All lives matter. Black lives matter. Dogs matter. Cats matter. Zebras, elephants, every fucking body. This is how they try to play us. But we said, fuck that, fuck that, fuck that, and fuck you. Give me my money. Simple as that. Malcolm X said keep it plain. Well, there's no other way to keep it plain than telling them, fuck you, pay me. That's it. It ain't even that deep, ain't that complex. We're not gonna complicate some shit that simple. Fuck you, cut the check, certified foundational Black Americans, anything other than that is inconsequential. That's how we ride it. And that's why we getting things done. And that's why this era has everybody shook, everybody's in disarray, and they scared to death, and we gonna keep it that way. When we get on code, motherfuckers know what time it is. So how you know a motherfucker like Gavin Newsom ain't shit? First off, you see him trying to walk things back. He trying to slide back. He trying to moonwalk off the motherfucking stage because they underestimated us. They underestimated us. They got real motherfucking arrogant on that supremacist side. And they thought they was dealing with the Clyburns of the world. So he didn't think that we'd still be talking about reparations. He thought he could just come out and say cash reparations. Or like Joe Biden, I got your back. Or Barack Obama saying Trayvon Martin could be his son. They thought that they would say those things and we wouldn't hold them to it. And when they realized that, no, we've been very persistent and we've been breaking down prices. See, when it comes to reparations, we came to the table with an actual plan with money. All right. They didn't expect none of that shit. So now he's trying to walk off the stage and cover his face so nobody sees him. But you know, when he throws in terms like inclusive, that he understands we see every single thing he's trying to run. And think about it, family. If you hear that lady give that quote, what does she say? She says he went on to further say. But that's not what they seeing. They putting in that headline. I told you, they know how to play with the headlines. The headline is just that little quote about, well, reparations is more than cash and we're going to address everything. But it always stops right there. That's it. They say, quote, end quote. He said this and that. But how come out of nowhere she says he went on further to say? Nobody's covering the he went on further to say part. They leave that out. Real coincidentally, they leave out the part where he said inclusive. See, they'll tell you the part about the no cash reparations and we trying to address it and it's worth more than this, that, and the other thing. They throw that in there. Every single news publication that covered that story will give you that quote. But once they say end quote, that's when the real games come in. That's when the real bullshit kicks in. That's when you know what they really trying to do because they think you stop listening. Family, we comb through the motherfucking contract. We read all the fine print, all the details. We got all the nuances. You ain't gonna slide us some shit and put some janky ass language in it and we accept it. Fuck nah. We checking all that janky ass language. Janky as fuck. And they don't like the very fact that we call them out on that janky ass language. Hell no. And all the contradictions and all the bigotry. The very fact that they say we don't know where the money's coming from. That's always their main play. We don't know where the money's coming from. And they don't like the very fact that we always say, motherfucker, you know exactly where the money coming from. Because I just seen you give the money away yesterday. Every single term that refers to assistance, they've actually utilized. They've given away welfare, assistance, stimulus, foreign aid, domestic aid. Every word in the dictionary that necessitates handing money over to somebody else for free, we've seen these motherfuckers do it. Joe Biden just gave out more money to the Ukraine, not to mention all the refugees, not to mention all the migrants, all the immigrants, motherfuckers who ain't even came to America. As a matter of fact, did y'all see up there in Chicago what happened? Where they actually have hotels where they say Americans can't stay. I ain't lying. They say Americans cannot stay at hotels in America, and there was a guy who tried to go into the hotel, and the migrants told him to leave. You got non-Americans telling an actual American citizen, you're not welcome in this hotel. You know why? Because they have designated that hotel as an enclave for non-American citizens. Meaning, if your ass is from America, You are not welcome in a hotel for Americans. And if you try to gain access, the immigrants will tell your ass to leave. No lie, receipts.
Where are you from?
Venezuela.
Venezuela. And what are you doing here?
No speak English. You resident. I am no resident. Goodbye, my friend.
I see what you're saying.
This in Chicago, y'all.
Well, how about that? Okay, well, this is well, why not?
Because it's private.
No, this is a hotel.
It's closed.
It's closed? No, I just saw some people go inside.
You cannot come in.
Well, why can't I come in?
It's closed for you.
Why is it closed for me?
She just told him, you cannot come in here. It is closed to you. She didn't say it's closed for us. She said it is closed to you. This woman don't even work there. This woman is not even an American, and they're turning away the American so his ass can stay outside and they can stay inside. And here's the kicker about the whole motherfucking situation, family. You know this shit crazy. The whole thing is, these people are not only being afforded the opportunity to stay in this hotel while other Americans cannot stay in this hotel, they're actually the motherfuckers who are running the door. They're telling people who can and can't come. They're like bouncers. They're not only living there for free, they're providing the goddamn security. And they tell this man, this is not welcome for you. You need to leave. Let me run that little clip back one more time. Listen to how they tell him, you better get out of here. This is for immigrants only.
I come in.
It's closed for you.
Why is it closed for me? Why is it closed for me, though? I don't understand.
This is a private area, so therefore it's private. You're not a resident here. It's the last.
Who are the residents? I thought this was a hotel. Yeah. Hello. Welcome. Yeah. Well, enjoy your stay.
Oh, they gonna enjoy their stay because they staying there for free, but it don't stop there. All that we can't get the money shit, right? Let's go to California. Let's just stay in Cali. We can go to Chicago, New York. We can go all over the place because they're trying to implement this everywhere as a means to slide our reparations from foundationals to immigrants, but we ain't allowing it to happen. So Gavin Newsom says it's not about cash payments, it's not about money. But yet, we got a whole gang of instances where it's all about money and it's all about cash payments when it comes to illegals. Listen.
Yeah, good afternoon, Chuck. California, of course, the first state in the nation to announce a disaster relief fund that is specifically for undocumented immigrants. Now,
Whoa. Specifically for immigrants. I thought that you couldn't do things for folks specifically. That's what they tell us. They tell foundational Black Americans, we can't do anything specifically for y'all. That's wrong. The laws are against it. Democrats tell us that shit all the time. But you see right here, it's a law that is specifically for them. This law includes money that is specifically for them. But when we talk about reparations, a debt that's 500 years old, they tell us they can't just do it for one group. Furthermore, proceed.
Now, $75 million of the fund will come from state taxpayers. $50 million will be donated from philanthropists. Now,
whoa, hold on, ho. They said that the money's gonna come from state funds. I thought they didn't know where to get the money from. That's what they tell us. We don't know yet where the money gonna come from now. That right there shows you that we don't know where the money's gonna come from and some bullshit. Didn't I say we read through the fine print, we comb through the contract, and we got all the motherfucking details. And we got all the motherfucking nuances. We sit here and call them out on that shit. 1 minute is we don't know where the money's come from, then you blink and they find all the money for everybody else. And notice this too, family. Not only did she say that the money's going to come from state funds, they also said from philanthropists. So they got personal motherfuckers putting in their money. They got the government and they got individuals. So they done found this goddamn money. But wait, there's more.
Now, this week, the state is reaching out to some trusted community organizations that have a long history with working with the immigrant population here.
Look at that. They said the state is reaching out to other groups. So not only do they know where the money's coming from, they're going to other motherfuckers to help them provide the money. When it comes to foundational Black Americans, all of a sudden they don't know what the fuck is going on. They play stupid. They act like they can't figure it out. But they got this whole elaborate plan to give money to non-American citizens. That's the bullshit we be calling out.
10% of California's workforce is made up of undocumented immigrants, and many of them are in jobs considered essential: manufacturing, child and elderly care, construction, and agriculture and food distribution.
We feel a deep sense of gratitude for people that are in fear of deportation, but are still addressing the essential needs of tens of...
Wait a minute. You may feel a deep sense of gratitude. I don't. You see how they'll always try to turn this into some type of humanitarian issue? Last time I checked, breaking the law by coming into a country that you ain't supposed to be in, that's nothing you should feel gratitude about. That's something where somebody should be getting sent back the fuck home. No one ever does this with reparations. When it comes to the debt that's owed to our people and all the hell that our people caught, no one ever talks about gratitude, feelings, emotions. All they talk about is, can't we all get along? No, we ain't getting along. All you can do is cut my motherfucking check. That's what you can do. That's where you can start. That's where you can finish.
Tens of millions of Californians.
Only about 150,000 of the state's 2.2 million undocumented workers will benefit from the aid, getting a one-time payment of $500 per person with a cap of $1,000 per household.
Look how quick they found that money. It ain't gonna be no one-time payment. It ain't gonna be no $1,000 cap per household. Hell no, it's gonna be for anybody who shows up. You don't just halfway give illegals money. All right, this little thing that they try to do, this little fake game where we just gave the people who don't deserve the money some of the money. By the time they go to all of those restraints to give money away to non-American citizens, they're not doing it just for play. They're not doing it kinda. They're not doing it sorta. They're going and giving them billions of dollars because California alone spends billions of dollars on illegals. And there's more illegals in California than there are black people. And this is Mr. Gavin Newsom. The same Gavin Newsom that all the Democratic shills and these rappers want to throw their arms around and act like he's some type of reparations savior. No, the fuck he ain't. He is a reparations op. You goddamn right. Now, mind you, he said it ain't about money when it come to us. But when it come to illegals, they flipping over every rock, flipping over every chair, looking for every dollar they can find. Giving them all types of money, and they're utilizing every single resource that they can get, and they doing it fast as a motherfucker. So you see the priorities once again when you're dealing with a Democratic reparations op. It's the same game that Joe Biden ran. It's the same game Kamala Harris. It's the same game that Barack Obama. You name them, this is how they play the game. They act like they support reparations, but in reality, they're all about immigration. And as I said before, and I stand on it, you can't be pro-reparations and pro-immigration because they want to give our reparations money to all the immigrants. And if you look at Gavin Newsom, he's not pro-reparations, he's pro-immigration. Look at all the nice things he does for illegal immigrants. Continue.
Governor Gavin Newsom has just signed a bill that limits immigration officials' access to databases of police departments and the DMV. The measure, which goes into effect January 1st, is aimed at blocking ICE from browsing people's personal information.
Blocking ICE. That motherfucker providing a shield and all types of protection. He Captain Save-A-Ho. You know how we say Captain Save-A-Ho? He throwing that goddamn cape and he get the protecting. This motherfucker is Captain Save-A-Ho for all the illegals. Blocking ICE? That's funny. Has he ever blocked any of the race soldiers that harm our brothers and sisters out there in California? Has he ever stopped our brothers and sisters from being redlined like Noonie Martinez and they're all doing right there at the city council? Has he even spoke on that? Hell nah. So you see once again, this man is not pro-reparations. He is Captain Save-A-Ho for immigration.
The author of the measure, Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, says undocumented residents should have no reason to fear ICE when applying for a driver's license. The new law will
driver's license
cases in which the information requested is related to the criminal record of an individual.
Damn, hold on, stop, You know how we say we regulate motherfuckers on the way to regulating motherfuckers? We G-check motherfuckers on the way to G-checking other motherfuckers? We sitting here talking about how he's blocking ICE. And in the middle of that statement, the guy says they blocking ICE because they shouldn't be afraid when they go get a driver's license. What the fuck they allowed to get a driver's license for in the first place? So not only are they being protected when it comes to ICE, they're being protected as they're going to get resources and they're going to get driver's license, all things that non-American citizens shouldn't have access to anyway. So you see the protection inside of the protection. You see the caping inside of the caping. He'll cape for a motherfucker 5 different times in one subject, but it ain't done yet. Hell nah, they gonna get this work. You gonna get this work. I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna come around here and try to run some type of I'm pro reparations, but your paperwork says that you anti-reparations. You ain't gonna come around here and talk about how you some type of reparations advocate, when in reality, your paperwork and your policy show that you everything except reparations for foundational Black Americans. This motherfucker ain't a reparationist, he's an immigrationist. And today, right here on the Black AlphaCast, we drawing that line in the sand and we separating all the counterfeits from the certifieds like we always do. So the roast and the exposing of Gavin Newsom continues.
We're putting up $75 million in partnership with philanthropy. Philanthropy is matching our efforts, not dollar for dollar, but they're putting an additional $50 million to support our efforts. So a total of $125 million to provide individual assistance of $500 and household assistance up to $1,000 for those individuals that are quite literally putting themselves on the line and helping support this economy and those most in need at this moment.
Family. First off, that was in his own words, okay? That wasn't some quote that another motherfucker read, so don't let nobody try to spin that. That's what he said. Family. Do you understand that when the government gives somebody money and they work hand in hand with an outside lobbyist group and the individual independent lobbyist group works with the government in conjunction to serve a particular community? I do not have any instance where that has ever been done. This is the same motherfucker that got a whole task force and this whole drawn out process where we got to break it down. Black folks get 2 fucking minutes to talk, then they cut you off. We got to jump over every fucking obstacle, every fucking hurdle just to get heard, and then they still got to take another fucking year to sit down and wonder where's the money is coming from. That's what foundational Black Americans get. But they say that the government of California is working with outside independent groups and they all putting their fucking money in a pot. Let's just get into some certified Black society translation. Fuck all that bullshit that he was talking, because he was trying to dress it up and spin it. Let me tell you how the fuck it really is. They getting money from him, from them, and them, mixing it all up with the government, putting it in one big bank account and handing that shit out, and they did it overnight. That's what they're doing. Everybody who wants to put some money in, go ahead and do it. They created a welfare system that is in conjunction between the federal government and the state government and independent local people. And that's where the money came from. I've never in my life heard that before. Never. For no instance have I ever seen outside independent groups and the United States government working in conjunction to give money away. And I've damn sure never seen that happen to where the money they're giving away is going to illegals. Don't know where the fuck that has ever happened. So they are creating a precedent. They are breaking new rules. They are shattering the mold to go give money to immigrants. So is that a reparationist or is that an immigrationist? And as I said before, you can't be both at the same goddamn time. So anybody who thinks that that type of policy or anyone who supports that type of policy is ever going to truly be someone who accepts foundational Black American reparations as something that he will sign off on, it ain't gonna motherfucking happen. And all we doing is peeling back the motherfucking layers and letting the whole goddamn world see who's real and who's fake. And we already know what type of op that is, but it ain't done yet. So we talk about independent groups working in conjunction with the government, putting all their money in a big ass immigrant piggy bank, giving them driver's license, giving them access to all types of free education and healthcare assistance, stimulus checks, enclaves, all that shit. But do you want to be an illegal cop too? Oh yeah. Well, if you want to be an illegal cop, Gavin Newsom has set them up perfectly for this. The exposing continues.
With the new year comes some new state laws, and tonight we're taking a closer look at Senate Bill 960. This law took effect at the start of the year, changing the qualifications to become a police officer here in California.
Hold on, wait, goddamn. Changing the policies to become a police officer. Didn't I just say that they will bend every motherfucking rule so they can accommodate immigration? Look at what they do to accommodate illegals. And look at what they do not do for foundational Black Americans in the simplest form. You're talking about bending the rules to be a cop? These motherfuckers is literally going back and changing the books just so they can put these people in position. Don't that sound just like the erasure? Don't that sound just like y'all gonna have to work with Latinos? Don't that sound just like this is a nation of immigrants? You motherfucking right.
Now, anyone who can legally work in the state under federal law can become a police officer, regardless of citizenship.
Regardless of citizenship. That motherfucking part. So family, we just laid out 20 different policies that prove how pro-immigrant Gavin Newsom is. Can anybody lay me out 2 that show how pro-foundational Black American he is? We just put his whole paperwork on the table. All his paperwork, all his documents, every policy, from allowing illegals to become police officers, to giving illegals driver's license, to giving them just free stimulus and welfare checks, to working with independent organizations and allowing them to put money in that pot as well. We just laid it all out. Every single policy that he has, we laid them all out for immigration. And it is overwhelmingly pro-immigrant, pro-illegal, pro not even from America. Where are the pro-foundational Black American policies? We can't find one. We'll search, we'll look, we Googled it, we checked it out. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, let me say it. I've been mistaken. He did sign one law that says rappers can curse and shit on their songs and that shit won't get played in court. There you go. That's his black policy. His black policy is rappers can say things that they was gonna say any goddamn way. No cash money, no benefits, no resources, none of that. Just a law for some rappers. Oh, shit. Hey, and don't that sound like some Democrat shit? Remember, a lot of people don't even know this shit because, we don't give a fuck about it. Y'all know that there's Hip Hop History Month and it's in November, right? I ain't lying. The Democratic Party signed off on Hip Hop History Month. That's what they gave us. They gave us Hip Hop History Month. That is their law. So the same motherfuckers who come around and they start doing the goddamn electric slide they start doing the fucking Running Man. They gave us Hip Hop History Month, and Gavin Newsom gave us the you can curse and not get your shit played in court law. Everybody else gets dollars. Let me ask y'all, what do y'all want? Hip Hop History Month or cash reparations? What do y'all want? The electric slide or some money? Exactly. So this right here is another reparations op, and he represents your typical politician who is trying to act like they're running on a campaign of reparations, but in reality, they're running interference on reparations. Let me say that again, and I've been saying that as well. Half these people who say that they're running on a platform of reparations are running interference on our reparations. And the trick bag and the words and the janky ass behavior is all out there, and it's on us to expose it. But y'all know certified black society, that's what we do best. We expose motherfuckers. We expose them to the point where they can't show their face around. So anybody who's an op and anybody who's running interference, they gonna get their ass packed the fuck up always. And this is what they're doing. So you see Gavin Newsom and everyone else is trying to put these immigrants in position to where eventually they can slide our reparations off to them. The Democrats always start off with little seeds. They like to plant little seeds. They like to say things like, this is a nation of immigrants. Immigrants built this country. They like to slowly erase our ancestors and then put in some illegal immigrants in their place, because they feel 3 or 4 years from now, if they water that, they give it some sunlight, they'll eventually be able to slide the reparations over. And they're doing every single thing they can to put them in place. Watch it, family. Watch it very closely. They right now are trying to put immigrants in position to get our reparations. It's not just a couple motherfuckers on the internet, on TikTok or Instagram saying, we deserve reparations too, brother. No, you got a whole heap load of Democratic politicians who are supporting that, and they're working hand in hand, the Democrats and the immigrants. But that shit ain't gonna work, because we are the face of reparations. I'm talking about the word, I'm talking about the policy, and I'm talking about the money. When you think of reparations, it's about certified foundational black Americans. We have been the only people who have even kept that term alive. Nobody was speaking about reparations until we started speaking about reparations. Y'all notice that? Now reparations is every fucking where. Go back 3 years ago, where was reparations? Go back 5 years ago, where was reparations? And I'm gonna tell you right now, don't go back 10 to 15, because nobody was talking about reparations. Isn't it crazy how now everybody's got a fake ass reparations claim? Everybody's trying to make themselves the fake face of reparations. But the same people who try to make themselves the face of reparations, the same people who got some bullshit, bogus ass reparations claims where they don't deserve $2 fucking, Them are the same people telling us a few years ago, man, I don't believe in reparations. Reparations for who? Nobody deserves reparations. The same motherfucker that said nobody deserves reparations claims that their community deserves reparations now. And they only say that because they see us going 100 miles an hour down the highway, top drop back on our way to the bank. It's like when you get something that everybody else wants to get. You go buy a new pair of shoes and everybody else wants to go get them. You go get a new car and then the neighbor across the street go get the same car you got, the same model, the same year. That's exactly what reparations is. It's playing follow the leader. Foundational Black Americans are going to get our reparations. Now everybody else is trying to go get them some reparations. They weren't even concerned with reparations until they seen that we had it. So ain't that something else we can add to the list? Not only do motherfuckers try to walk like us, talk like us, dance like us, duplicate us, mimic us, replicate us, they try to come up with all this synthetic foundational Black American energy, which does not fucking exist. But they try to come out here and do every single thing we do. We make a motherfucking song, they try to make a song. We rock a certain style, then they try to go rock the style. We come up with a dance, now they gotta try to go do the dance. The whole goddamn world is just a dollar store, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, great value version of foundational Black Americans. I said it. Fuck it. I said it so much with my chest, I'm gonna say it again. The whole world is just a dollar store, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, great value version of foundational Black Americans. In other words, everybody else is a fucking bootleg ripoff. That part. Yeah, I said it. And I said that shit because I mean it, and I stand on that. 10 toes down. If someone don't like me saying that, then quit trying to be like us and we won't say it no more. If you woke up tomorrow and everybody on the planet Earth quit trying to be like foundational Black Americans, quit trying to do what we do, quit trying to go get reparations now, then I wouldn't say it. But the more I see motherfuckers do it like they've always done it, then the more I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna get louder and louder with the shit so they can hear it very fucking crystal clear, so there ain't no confusion. I don't do confusion. I say what's on my mind, I speak what needs to be spoken, and I say what motherfuckers is afraid to say, and if that hurts their feelings, fuck them. 2 middle fingers up, because that's the type of energy we have to be on. So they can try to get all these other people to put them in position to get our reparations. Ain't gonna happen. We won't allow it. Nobody's going to be the face of reparations other than certified foundational Black Americans, because they tried to make everybody else the face of injustice. You know what I'm saying? And why do they do that? So they can dilute everything we do. Dr. Claude Anderson, certified salute to our elder. He always says that, and he always stresses it. One of the main things they try to do to us is dilute what we do. See, they can't stop what we do, so they have to dilute it. If a foundational Black American comes up with something right now, we gonna make it happen. We are the kings and queens of invention. So they know that we are people who actually say things and then go do what we said. So they know stopping us, that's out the question. That ain't gonna happen. They can't stop us, but they can dilute us. Look at all of our street protests. They know they can't stop it, so they come in, they try to dilute it. Look at the civil rights era. All of our sisters and brothers that were putting in that work, they knew they weren't gonna stop them, so they just tried to dilute them. And what they tried to dilute them with? The feminist movement, the hippie movement, the anti-war movement, the left movement. There's always these groups that come on top of our movements. You notice that? Look at American history, and you always see these people swinging on our coattails or piggybacking off of us every single time we get shit popping. You think that's an accident? You think that's just some big coincidence that every time foundational Black Americans get some shit popping and we get on code, there's immediately 13, 14 other groups that come on top of us and got some type of movement for themselves, and they always have something that dilutes what we're doing? You think that's just some big fucking coincidence? During the civil rights era, all of a sudden all these W groups start popping up, and look at it right now. Soon as we got on code and we started talking about reparations, everybody's got a reparations claim. Then came the Me Too movement. Then came the Rainbow movement, the immigrant movement. All of these groups start popping up soon as we get to popping up. Get the fuck out of here. You notice there's never no movements going on when we're not doing something. If foundational Black Americans stopped talking about reparations tomorrow, all of a sudden the Me Too movement would disappear, the Rainbow movement, all the motherfucking groups we just talked about, they'd all disappear. You know why? It's because they're only here to dilute what we're doing and to piggyback off of our struggles so they can get some crumbs. That's it. And they know how to swing in all these other people to dilute what we're doing so they can say, well, our problem is just like y'all's. We got the POC movement and the minority movement. Those is other shits that start popping up when we got to popping. Motherfuckers was out here not even using those terms. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to say the black and brown this and the black and brown that, just so they can get in on what we're doing and to dilute it. So right here today, we ain't letting none of that shit fly. I'ma tell you clearly, any motherfucker who thinks that they gonna dilute this reparations movement is gonna have a motherfucking problem. And that shit ain't gonna get an inch off the floor. I'm telling you here today, this reparations claim is for foundational black Americans only. It doesn't end with cash payments. It starts with cash payments, and we are the face of it. If you got some more shit, then you go do it over there in your community. If you wanna get your own shit popping, you get it popping in your own homeland. When it comes to foundational black Americans, the country that we created, the country that we built, the country that we maintained and sustained, everything is in-house, and we will be known as the face of this, because the moment they make us the non-face of reparations, and it's Gavin Newsom or John Leguizamo or whoever the fuck they can find, they're going to try to give them all the resources and the cash payments that belong to us. But unfortunately for them, they're fucking with a whole different era, whole different generation, whole different breed, and we don't go for none of that because we are marking our own spot. And if it ain't about us, then it don't mean nothing to us. In other words, FBA all goddamn day and certified all the time. So with that said, it's all about people trying to dilute us, trying to steal from us, stop us, stall us, prevent us, anything they can do to keep the money out of our hand. But the more we get closer to the bank, they realize that it is inevitable. Understand, reparations isn't something that might, could, should happen. Reparations for certified foundational black Americans is inevitable. And I'm not talking about in our kids' lifetime or our grandkids or our great-great-grandkids. No. I'm talking about reparations for us now. That's what we do. Everything is about right now. Here today. We're not waiting. We're not sitting back. We're not playing the sideline. We're playing the front line. And there's a big difference. So certified foundational black Americans, we building a strong today so we can live a stronger tomorrow. So we're not sitting here talking about reparations 30, 40, 50 years from now. No, we talking about reparations 20, 30 minutes from now. And as long as you got that mentality and you on code and you rolling with your brothers and sisters and we all stay aligned, and we are, then reparations is exactly what I just said it will be. Inevitable. And everybody's just gonna have to deal with it. And it's fun sitting back and watching everybody have to deal with it. It's fun regulating. It's fun framing all of these ops and exposing everybody, because that's what we do. I'm telling you, you ain't got no code if you ain't enforcing it. If you don't enforce your code, you ain't got no code. And we are all enforcers. We regulate everybody. And when it comes to reparations, you gotta be a reparations regulator. You gotta be. Because if you do not regulate that subject, then you already know what's gonna happen. And we ain't letting none of that bullshit happen. Therefore, we regulating, and we regulating in a damn good fashion. Motherfuckers know what time it is. That's why they come up in here and they gotta sneak, they gotta troll. And if y'all notice, the troll game done fell off, the tether game done fell off, the supremacist game fell off. Motherfuckers is shook to the point they can't even troll right anymore. If you look around and you watch, these motherfuckers is desperate. I don't even know if desperate's the word. These motherfuckers is in a frenzy right now. It's because they did not think they would ever be here. They did not think they would ever have to deal with this generation. And they did not think that reparations would ever become a reality. They're seeing foundational black Americans everywhere they go. When they close their eyes, they dreaming about us. And when they open their eyes, they got to deal with us. What does that tell you about us? It tells you that we are certified all the way across the board. And that's why things are moving right now. What we're dealing with, family, we're dealing with the reparations blowback. That's why shit's getting crazy. That's why all the trolls are coming out the woodwork, the vigilantes, the lynch mobs, that whole Daniel Penny situation. We already knew how that was going to play out. And did y'all see that they papered that man up? Gave him $1 million. The reason why all of that is happening is because they need people like him, so they think that they can do something about our reparations claim. It's just the blowback, and it's always happened. After slavery, when black people made gains of being free, then you start to see all types of lynching. Lynching came after slavery. They didn't lynch people during slavery. They lynched them after slavery because black folks attained power. Then what happened after the civil rights era? You got the crack epidemic. That's because we gained power. What happened after Barack Obama got elected? That's when you start seeing the Zimmermans and shit. Now we're dealing with the same version of that. The only difference with this one, though, is this is about money. Trillions of dollars us, and we're more on code than ever before. So now we're seeing this reparations effect. That's what I call it, the reparations effect. And this reparations effect is not only going across this country, it's going across the world. Every time foundational Black Americans get shit popping, there's always a blowback. But the only difference is we're not being thrown back by all this shit. We're standing 10 toes down. As a matter of fact, we're bringing it to them. They're just coming out the woodwork trying to troll. The tethers is out here, tether two-stepping and doing all that bullshit. But it ain't working. Every other time Black folks got on game and made some type of progress, the dominant society came at them. All the minions came at them. And Black folks weren't prepared. We are. Black folks weren't on code like they needed to be. We are. Black folks weren't out in the streets getting it in. We are. See, before, Black folks would make a couple gains, take 2 steps back, and then get comfortable. And the dominant society would always be the main one saying, y'all did so well, y'all have come so far, things have changed. Why do you think the dominant society is always trying to push progress on us? They're the main ones trying to stop our progress, but at the same time, they're the main ones always trying to promote our progress. How are you going to be the person trying to stop someone's progress, but at the same time trying to tell them how they've came so far? The reason why they did that, because they wanted Black folks to get very comfortable. Getting comfortable in the system of supremacy means you're off code. Comfortable means off code. That is it. In the system of supremacy and an anti-Black race war, there's no time to kick your motherfucking feet up. And that's what we understand in this generation. We're not sitting back and saying, damn, we done came so far. When was the last time y'all even heard that shit? When was the last time you heard we shall overcome? Or keep your eyes on the prize? Or one day? We don't say that shit. Ain't nobody saying we done come so far. Fuck no. And if there was anybody who had a reason to say that, it'd be us, because we've done more in the last 5 years than they've done in the last 50. So if we've done more in the last 5 than the last 50 and we don't say that, why the fuck was anybody else saying that? Never. And the dominant society was the main ones trying to tell Black folks, be nice, be comfortable, and therefore once you get nice and you get comfortable, they come on in and they attack. That's why there was always the W backlash every single time. After slavery, after the civil rights era, and when Obama got elected. Y'all know, they rocked Black folks to sleep. Soon as Obama got elected, folks was literally running around saying racism was over. Or saying, we can't really complain no more because he became the president. And they all found out that was a motherfucking lie. Barack Obama was the president of the United States, and he was still a 5th class citizen in his own party. That shows you again that Black Democrats have no power. They got one job, and that's to try to fool us. Barack Obama was out here getting punked by city councilmen. I ain't lying. Y'all remember when that Santorum guy damn near called Barack Obama the N-word? Remember that? Oh shit, hold on, let's play it. Y'all tell me, would he have said this to anybody who was a non-Black politician?
We know the candidate Barack Obama, what he was like. The anti-war government,
Whoa, hold up. Run that back.
We know the candidate Barack Obama, what he was like. The anti-war government,
Oh, I know y'all heard that. The anti-war government, y'all heard that shit? He caught himself halfway through. He's about to let the whole thing slip. And that was the president of the United States of America. So that shows you that Black Democrats ain't respected, neither are Black Republicans. All they do is play the slave role in their own political party. So ain't nobody coming over here trying to be friendly, diddly, winly with them. Y'all remember that time Barack Obama was giving a speech and some guy, I think this guy was like a House of Representative, and he just yelled and called Obama a liar. You've never seen this before with any other politician of any other race, proving again that Black Democrats are nothing to their own party. Listen.
There are also those who claim that our reform efforts would ensure illegal immigrants. This too is false.
They're booing them.
The reforms I'm proposing would not apply to those who are here illegally. It's not true. And one more.
Hold up, let's run that back.
Would not apply to those who are here illegally. It's not true. And one more.
Y'all heard that? Dude just yelled, you lied. Have any of y'all seen that before or after? Has anybody done that to Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Did they do that to Bill Clinton or Ronald Reagan? Or did they only do that for the black guy who thought that he was the leader of the party? Or excuse me, he knew he wasn't the leader of the party. It's just the Democratic voters thought he was. A black politician is a fifth-class citizen in their own party. It's the same thing time and time again. And that's why they're being phased out in their own party. Because the dominant society says, hey, if we're gonna go get a slave, let's just go get a non-FBA slave. They're easier, they don't talk back, and they'll do exactly what Obama just did there. Just sit there and say, well, hold on now. That's what they do. Always have, always will, because they know their role. And speaking of low-budget, bootleg politicians, did y'all see when that guy pressed Clyburn about reparations? And Clyburn said the same exact thing he's always talking about. No. Look how mad they get whenever it comes to representing us. They had never talked like that to anybody. That's why black politicians who are not from the black grassroots are worthless. Listen.
I'm sorry? You want to know if you support reparations? I support reparations, but not in that name. Y'all need to learn what reparations is.
He said he supports reparations, but not in that name. Then you don't support reparations, clown.
Y'all keep talking about a word. It means to repair. It's cash, cash payments for hell no. You never get it. Why not? That's why we need your support. You got a lot of power. You will never get it. You have a lot of leverage. Let me ask you a question. You get our support. We've been dedicated to you for a very long time. Will you listen? That's right.
Now, family, he just said, hell no, he don't support reparations, and you're never gonna get it. Now, if you remember, just last year, when that guy pressed him at the fish fry catfish nuggets event, he said, I'm the one who supported HR 40. I'm the one who supported the damn bill. He was acting like he supported reparations just a year ago. Now, all of a sudden, he's just saying, hell no, you ain't gonna get it. And you know why that's happening? That's because HR 40 is expired. We ran HR 40 off the fucking block. We canceled that HR 40 bullshit. So now they don't have nothing to do. HR 40 was just a study. And remember, a reparation study equals a reparation stall. And then we canceled all that shit out. That's what we doing. We canceling out any bullshit ass con game that they have. They're gonna have to come with some real fucking facts, some real fucking answers, and they're gonna have to meet us right in the middle. So now they realize HR 40 ain't working, so they're resorting just saying no. Hell no. I wish that motherfucker would have told me, listen. I said, no, you listen to me, you fucking Dinah Coon. James Clyburn is the biggest butter biscuit banjo motherfucker on earth. And let me say this, all y'all folks who run up on him and ask him about reparations, quit talking nice to him. Say, listen here, Dinah Coon. I know you ain't seen your package since 1954, but I better see some reparation checks on my tape. That's how you talk to him. Oh, he'll never talk that tough shit with me. And that's what they do. They always talk tough to black folks. Roland Martin only get tough with black folks. Strappy only get tough with black folks. Angela Rye only get tough with black folks. Joy Reid only get tough with black folks. Let anybody from any other community come around and they softer than carnival cotton candy. When they come talking to us, they get loud, they get disrespectful, they start pointing their finger. Oh, they ain't pointing their goddamn finger at me. I'm gonna tell you that off top. I'm gonna tell you that right here today, right now. Certified Black Society will have their ass quitting being a politician. They say, I don't even want to do this no more. The games don't work. And that's exactly what we've been doing. None of the Democratic games work. We've already exposed Gavin Newsom all the way across the board, so anybody with their cape on, take that shit off. We've exposed his con game. We exposed Barack Obama's con game, and we exposed James Clyburn. And speaking of HR 40, because remember, a year ago, they were acting like HR 40 was the thing to beat. Now, they acting like HR 40 don't exist. That's why he went from, we gonna get it for you for reparations, to now he's saying, you're never gonna get them. I'm gonna tell you what you never gonna get. You never gonna get off your knees in front of massa. That's what the fuck you never gonna get. You are a career buck dancer. And that's why they can't sit in the presence of certifieds. That's why they start sweating every time we come around. And as we expose HR 40, let's put this on the line. HR 40 is a sinking ship that they all jumping off of. You notice now, he's saying nothing about HR 40, and he's saying we're not gonna get reparations. Sheila Jackson Lee quit being a member of the House, and she's running for mayor. They don't even talk HR 40 no more because we canceled HR 40 out. We exposed that shit for what it was. We regulated them every time they bring it up, and now they just don't mention it. That right there is another win for us. I told you, we collect wins and we dish out losses, and they got to take that L. They got to take that L and sit the fuck down like the Dinah Coons they are. We are exposing every single thing that the Democrats try to run. That's why they have nothing left. You know, when HR 40 gets abandoned, When they jumping off of that ship and they running away from HR 40, then you know we done put in work because they was conning black folks with HR 40 for 40 fucking years. I tell people all the time we've done more in the last 5 than the last 50. How the hell we get rid of HR 40 in 5 years, but other folks was getting conned by HR 40 for 40 years? That don't make no fucking sense. The only thing that you can point to is that we're on code now and they was slacking back in the day. HR 40 is like when the fucking ship is sinking and everybody's just jumping off board. These motherfuckers are splashing into the water, face first, chest first, all fucked up. And that's what we do. We got them all fucked up because we understand they're gonna try to run this same election game. That's why they're gonna try to bring out the ADOSs. Guarantee you, real soon you're gonna start hearing ADOS try to give us some new backhanded language to get us to vote for the Democrats. And we done already regulated, gatekeep, G-check, and we done already gave receipts, spoilers, invoices, tax returns. There's nothing they can do right now, but just sit back and watch us watch them. And know we on their ass every step of the way. That's how you gotta do it. Did y'all see Joe Biden just come out recently? And he started talking that same shit from 2020. He gave that same tired ass speech where he looks tired as fuck, looks like he can't remember 5 minutes ago, looks like he can't remember where he is or who the fuck he is, and he gave that same mumbling ass speech because he can barely talk anymore, and he goes, white supremacy is the biggest terrorism in America. And then right after that he said, by the way, what's my name again? And you ain't black. Somebody put that man in a goddamn nursing home now. But he's giving that 2024 bullshit ass excuse the same thing he did in 2020. It's followed by, I got the black communities back. And then he turns around and says, the hell with y'all. It don't matter. They got a whole fucking script, man. We know the Democrat plantation play. And we've been calling that shit the fuck out so it goes nowhere. It's the same con game, the same hustle, and that shit don't fly around certifies. Hell to the nah. And all the motherfuckers at the HBC coons, okay, let's take out the U. It's HBC coons. All the motherfuckers was happy. And they was running that same con game that they run. Come on, Master's here, Zaddy's here. Let's do the fraternity flip. Let's do the sorority slide. They be just dancing every single time a motherfucker show up. But credit, there was a person in the crowd and they held up a sign that said, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris don't care about black people. That's that shit that we on right there. So you see, when the HBC coon audience ain't going for that shit, oh, things done changed. Things done change. And like every other thing on this planet that has changed, you can trace it back directly to the certified foundational black American grassroots. We run it. He'll come out and say that shit all day long, but that's just running their mouth. That's just a bunch of hollow motherfucking talk. You notice he ain't saying nothing about the Daniel Penny situation, right? And remember, after Kyle Rittenhouse, he said the courts work fine. And remember, he said we don't need to defund the police, we need to fund the police. So don't let them run that game that they're anti-supremacy. They run that shit every election cycle, and the first day they get elected, they put the mask back on. Try again, Jimmy Crow.
Progress over retreat. Stand up against the poison of white supremacy as I did my inaugural address to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
Supremacy. As I did our inaugural address to figure out. What the fuck? That was one long ass word. Hell no. Put this man in a nursing home now. So no, they can't give us that game no more. Nah, you name it, family, we done exposed it. Just go down the whole fucking list. Look at every single thing that they try to do and then understand that we done got rid of it. They can't come around here no more with the first senator, the first black governor, the first black mayor, the first black president, the first black vice president, the first black custodian, the first black substitute teacher assistant. All of that shit. They was giving us the first black any goddamn thing. The first black person to walk down the street with a gray shirt on. Shit that is irrelevant as a motherfucker. And they used to dance for that shit. And now what we do, we regulate, and regulate that shit. We don't replace the pop, lock, and drop it for to cut the check. We don't replace the Soul Train line for to run them tangibles. And in the process, family, we done canceled out all that black faces and high places shit. That myth is over. We canceled out anything. That's the first step that we did in this era is we found out every single misnomer and we canceled it. We found out every single lie, justification, and alibi, we canceled it. All the fake ass beliefs that people thought, we got rid of them. Remember, a few years ago, black folks used to say racism. Nobody wanted to run around and say W supremacy. Nobody wanted to say that shit. They skipped around it. We put highlights on it. We put addresses, names, and dates, and that's why we went far. So we got our verbiage correct, and then we got our action correct, and that's why shit is moving along. And since it's moving along, we're getting things done, but we not sitting back and celebrating because we got work to do. We on a mission. They better take another look. Yes, indeed. Around my way, we always say, we'll take a break when the case breaks. Until then, we don't get tired. So no, we ain't getting tired regulating. We ain't getting tired G-checking. We ain't getting tired gatekeeping, running ops off the block, out the paint, and off the field. Fuck nah. We enjoying it every second. I know I am. I love nothing more than regulating and exposing these ops in the community, one by one. And since we exposing ops in the community, let me go ahead and address this op right here. You see, when we talk about the face of reparations, we mean the face as in the lineage, not as in the individual. And there's a lot of people running around here and they want to be the individuals in the community, want to be the headliners of the community, want to be the mama of the community.
Y'all are all the little wayward children of ADOS. That's all you are. That's all you ever will be, is little wayward children. You are nothing. You did not create yourself. I'm your mother, like it or not.
Yeah, that's where we gonna go with it. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, turn this up right now. Turn this up. We about to go all the way, full motherfucking speed. Black Alpha certified style. You can always tell who the reparations clout chaser is because they're always the loudest one in the room. They're always trying to take credit for something. They're always trying to demean everybody else so they can uplift themselves. That right there is a reparations op. And I don't give a fuck whether they're foreign or domestic. See, we got a lot of reparations ops that come from outside of the community. You got your tethers running around here. You got your politicians, your Democratic shills, your Republican shills. But we got a lot of people right here inside of the black community and their reparations ops, and they want to make themselves the face of the reparations community. And their whole logic is, if they cannot get reparations and be the leader, then they don't want anybody to get it. It's that backstabbing mentality that the tethers have. But a lot of folks right here, homegrown coons, they got the same mentality. And if you watch the reparations movement, you see this go on frequently. You got a lot of folks out there, ADOS, where they want to be the leaders of the reparations movement, and they want to have this big headline in the future, and it says, reparations achieved because of us. Reparations achieved because of me. Reparations achieved because of my organization. And if they cannot get those headlines, they don't want nobody to have it. That's that backstabbing mentality, and it don't just go on in the diaspora, it goes on right here. That's why we've been calling out all these fake ass reparations organizations. We don't represent organizations. Y'all notice that? We represent lineage, heritage, and culture. That's it, the family tree, all of us together, our ancestors, our bloodline, we are the offsprings, and that's the way we approach reparations. These motherfuckers don't approach it like that. They don't represent lineage, heritage, and culture. They represent organization and political party. And there's a big motherfucking difference between lineage, heritage, and culture and political party and organization. A political party and organization, they've got members. FBA don't have members. We don't have where you can sign up. Where the fuck do you sign up to be FBA? You don't. You were either FBA when you were born or you're not. And we make that clear. That's what a lineage is about. But there's a lot of folks running around here masquerading to be a lineage. In reality, they're an organization where they got motherfucking members. You sign up. You got people paying pensions. How the fuck do you pay a pension to be a part of a lineage? How the fuck do you pay a fee to be a part of a lineage? There ain't one lineage on earth where they're accepting fees to be a member. So anytime somebody's talking that type of talk, cancel them out. They do not represent us. They represent their own pockets and they represent their own organization. That's what it is. We separating the lineage from the organizations. And you got a lot of people nowadays that run around and they masquerade to be reparationists. They run around and they masquerade being black grassroots, and they run around and they masquerade being the lineage. That's what they always do. But let me tell you what we always do. We separate the real from the fake, the certified from the counterfeit, and the authentic from the artificial. So let's break down some of these artificial, counterfeit, fake motherfuckers. First thing you gonna notice is that they try to designate themselves as the leader. Oh, I'm sorry, the mamas of the community. Well, I thought first off, to be a mother, you actually have to be able to reproduce. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, plastic can't have a child. It was just Mother's Day, and I didn't see anybody going to give plastic flowers. I didn't see that. I don't know. Nobody said Happy Mother's Day to a strap. Not at all. Yeah, I said it. minute, we'll say it again. Now, if you want to talk about people trying to designate themselves as a leader, that's the first telltale sign this person is not sponsored by the black grassroots. We have no leader. We go out of our way to say there's no leader. And the people out here who genuinely put in that real work, they don't say they're the leader. See, if a motherfucker got to come out and say that they're the mama of the community, they're the leader, they're the lieutenant general, that motherfucker is self-serving. That is a reparations clout chaser.
You are nothing. You did not create yourself. I'm your mother, like it or not.
And how do you know that? Because we have all types of elders in the community that have been putting in work literally for 60 years and they don't refer to themselves as the leader. So anytime somebody represents a ragtag organization that's only been around for 5 years and they try to elevate themselves above our respected elders, you already know they are reparations op. Look at Dr. Claude Anderson. He's never said he was the leader. Neely Fuller has never said he was the leader. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest in peace, she never said she was the leader. But these motherfuckers is saying they the mama. They didn't even say they the leader. They said they the mama of the community, meaning they gave birth to everybody. There is no bigger means of trying to say that you are the top person than saying you gave birth to everyone. And they said it. Oh, y'all other people, y'all just ragtag groups. Y'all started from us. Y'all started from us. Nah, motherfucker. Reparations has always been here because it's about the ancestors. So you already see they're not thinking on the collective. They're not thinking on the movement. They thinking about their own organization. Once again, that organization shield is right there. And then we got to ask the question, who are you an organization for and who is funding you and who's paying you? I'll tell you who it is. It's the Democratic Party. It ain't about the American descendants of slavery. It's about the American Democrats of slavery. It's clear as day. It don't take no hard work to see. These are Democrats. This is the same way the Democratic Party was subsidizing Black Lives Matter. And if you look, ADOS and Black Lives Matter got the same routine. They both started off as a hashtag. People were hashtagging it, not even knowing what it meant. You thought it just meant American descendants of slavery, like you thought it just meant Black Lives Matter. That's pretty simple, right? And then you find out that these are organizations with CEOs, COOs, taking pensions and funds and fees, but yet they're masquerading as something that's collective for everybody. We represent Certified Black Society. Certified Black Society is something that if you certified and you black and you in our society, there you go. Pretty simple, right? Foundational Black American, meaning if you are the foundational and you're black and you're an American, that's your lineage. Simple as that. Why is it so motherfucking complicated for everybody else though? Black Lives Matter. But you are an organization with a CEO and you take donations for the upper millions and then you buy houses with them. ADOS, you're supposed to be an American descendant of slavery, but yet you tell everybody to vote Democrat down ballot, and let's be real, you take money from the Democratic Party. Let's be real. What did Malcolm X say earlier when he was talking to that guy? What'd he say? He said, these are not black leaders because you cannot show me any of them that is not subsidized, sponsored, or supported by the liberals. Malcolm said it in the 60s. The same shit applies now to both of them, ADOS and Black Lives Matter. And I'm gonna say it right now, Black Alpha Network, I'm gonna put it on the table. Fuck ADOS as a staff, organization, and as a motherfucking crew. Said it. It's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. Fuck Black Lives Matter as a staff, organization, and as a motherfucking crew. Shout out to Tupac for that one. That's what we riding with. And if somebody got a problem, it is what it is. I be seeing people pop in and they be like, man, Yvette and Tone Tits, they said this, that, and the other thing, and they started it. If you say that they started anything in this reparations movement, or you grant them as the leaders, then your ass can slide the fuck out right along with them. We do not do that leader shit, and if anybody runs around and says that they're a leader, they've already disqualified themselves from being a part of the black grassroots, because one thing that has been proven historically is that certified foundational black Americans have no leader. It's the code. And if you say one individual or one organization or one shield organization is the leader, then your ass is automatically designated and disqualified from discussion amongst the real ones, and we are the real ones. Holla if you hear me. Goddamn. Straight up and down. And that's what it is. And we got to be careful of the names. And I'm going to give you the hustle. What they do is they come up with a name that's all encompassing. They want to make it look like the name applies to everybody, but the group doesn't apply to everybody. My example is always this. Imagine in the 60s and 70s when brothers and sisters were saying Black Power. Imagine if you found out Black Power was an organization and they had presidents and shit and chancellors and vice presidents. That's what they do now. They find terms that everybody can shout because they try to fancy it up like it applies to everyone. An American descendant of slavery, that's something that they can apply to the collective, but how come the collective can't be a part of your group? And mind you, they're on record saying they are a group. Don't let these motherfuckers say they're a group one day, they're not a group. See, they'll only say they're not a group whenever you call them out on it. See, what I'm saying right now, and I'm exposing them for being an organization and not a lineage, they're gonna come around now to me and say, oh no, I'm not an organization. We represent the lineage. Nah, you said you're a group. As a matter of fact, yo's mamas of the community, she said, if you don't like them, then start your own organization. That means that she's referencing herself as an organization. She said, if you don't like them, you can't be a part of them. This ain't what we're saying. This is what they said. What do I always tell people? We whoop your ass with your own words. We whoop your ass with your own phrases. We whoop your ass with your own statements. Don't be mad at us for calling out the shit. Get mad at yourself for saying the shit. So she's on record saying she's an organization, so we putting it to rest. Any motherfucker who come around and say, they're not an organization. They said they're an organization. And you're not going to sit there and flip over that like we didn't hear what we just heard. They have said numerous times they are an organization. Therefore, since you are an organization, you can't be the leader, you can't be in the reparations movement, and you can't talk on behalf of certified foundational Black Americans as a lineage, heritage, and a culture. Not happening. Because if you allow somebody to say that they're the leader, then that's the same thing we were saying about allowing a politician to get the keys to your car. Be careful who you give your keys to. Don't give your keys to a Democrat. Don't give your keys to a Republican. And damn sure don't give your keys to these fake lineage organizations, ADOS. Don't do it. Because if you give them that power, you're going wherever the fuck they want you to go. And let's be honest with you, fam. Where they're going is they're all going to be Democrats in about 10 years. Yes, they are. Remember coming out of the civil rights movement? Oh, we going there. Let's put out some historical receipts. Because you know we got current receipts. We even got future receipts. You can cash in what I'm saying right now 5 years from now and you're going to get all your money. But let's give out some historical receipts. Remember coming out of the civil rights era? Half those people that were saying that they were about the Black community all became Democrats. And they were all sitting back while the communities were being flooded with drugs and they were all supporting Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. Yes, the same person that was out there in the streets protesting, talking about power to the people, putting up a black fist. Soon as the civil rights era was over, the very next day, they asses all ran down to the office and signed up to be Democrats. That's exactly what you're going to see with the American descendants of slavery. Oh, I'm sorry, the American Democrats of slavery. Soon as we get things popping, we get things moving, we get things bubbling, they will all be Democrats in a few years trying to run for office. And the main people in that organization, let me say that one more time, not lineage, not heritage, not culture, the same people in that organization, they will all be signing up so they can become Democrats and they can run for office. That's what this is all about. To use our lineage movement that we have right now to catapult themselves so they can be senators, mayors, and governors. They've already worked with the Democratic Party tooth and nail, hand in hand. They already told us vote Democrat blindly. They already told us to vote Democrat down ballot. So what the fuck and who the fuck do you think they're working for?
Well, we have decided that if Democrats do not come around to what we need them to come around, we have to stand on our square. And we have said in no uncertain terms that politics is an exchange. It's not a gift. So what that means, we're not just going to stay at home. What that means is that we have decided that we're voting down ballot.
Democratic.
We got a lot of Democrats that need our help, whether it's your local city councilman, local state lawmaker, local dog catcher, whatever. They need you to come out and vote.
Right there. That's straight from them. We didn't make that up. That ain't AI. That's them saying vote Democrat down ballot. And did you notice something else? She said politics is an exchange. It's not a gift. Well, voting blindly down ballot, ain't that a gift? Ain't that just giving it away? An exchange means we get something in return for voting. She left out the whole part about we get something in return. She's trying to use the black grassroots language, but she don't have the black grassroots merit. We say it's an exchange as in, I vote, you give me some tangibles. I vote, you run my reparations. I vote, you give me some resources. She said it's an exchange as in, I vote just for you blindly, and if you give me some, who knows? She didn't say shit about a tangible in return. Notice that. She said it's an exchange, but all she talked about was giving, not receiving. And now you got to be careful when you say that with her, because y'all know what I mean. They're not going to like you. I know. Saul G, we winning. So notice how they said vote Democrat down ballot, but they never mentioned the Democrats giving us anything in return. That right there is a Democratic shield. All she is someone who wants to get reparations in her image. And if they can't get it in their image, then they don't want it for anybody. They will sink the ship and they will sink everybody if they can't have it their way. So basically, these are these individuals who are trying to infiltrate our collective lineage. In reality, what they want to do is they want a big ass monument made of them so they can make themselves the president of the black community. And if we don't fuck with them and we don't rock with them and we reject them, they get mad at everybody. And since we don't fuck with them, that's why they having temper tantrums every week and we just handling business. Y'all notice we don't do none of that shit? You can always tell who's winning and who's losing by who's having the temper tantrum. We ain't doing none of that shit. We out here really getting together, really building, really working, shining, and grinding. We all meet up and we get things done. They ain't doing that. They too busy having temper tantrums. Every single thing that's popped off in the black community within the last 4 or 5 years, they always have some type of response where they talking about us. So you see who occupies whose thoughts, who consumes whose thoughts, and you can see who's really got things going on. And I tell you what, clearly it ain't them. I'm telling y'all, and I'm gonna give you the game right now. They work with the Democratic Party so they can get Democratic sponsored reparations, and they're going to use them as the catalyst to do so. Therefore, in about 5 years, she wants to run for some type of office as a Democrat. That's the end game for all this shit. She helps out the Democrats now by voting blue down ballot. And later on, the Democrats give her some campaign money so she can run for senator. That's her end game. She wants to run for senator and she wants to help them trick black folks out of reparations. Let's be all the way real. Family, in 5 to 10 years, she trying to be a Democratic politician. That's what this is about. Don't you see it? Family, don't you see in 5 to 10 years she gonna be running on a Democratic campaign? She gonna be running with a Democratic ticket? Come on. We know all this tap dancing that she doing, all this slick talk is so she can position herself to be a Democratic politician and run for Senate. That's what this is. Maybe mayor, maybe fucking governor, maybe the goddamn Democratic janitor. But this is all about her becoming a Democratic politician. That's what it's been from the start. That's why none of their words add up. That's why all of their talking points don't fly. And that's why they math ain't mathing. Both of them. Both the leaders of the ADOS organization have been telling you to vote blue no matter who, because in about 5 to 10 years, they're going to be telling you to vote for them on the vote blue ticket. Proving once again what we've already said, American Democrats of slavery. God damn, if you can't see that, then you ain't fit for this work and you need to go get your eyes checked because they put it right there in front of everybody. That ain't hard to read, that ain't hard to tell. If it walks like a Democrat, it talks like a Democrat, it moves like a Democrat, and it tells all black people to go vote for Democrat, then it's a Democrat. And they better go try that shit on another sucker. You ain't gonna come in here and say, hey, vote blue, campaign blue, protest blue, walk down the street wearing blue, put on blue shoes and a blue shirt and blue socks. Go on, do it. And then turn around and say, oh, but I'm not a Democrat. Motherfucker, please. Your ass is as Democrat gets. And what you don't like is that we expose you for not only being an organization, not only being fake ass reparations clout chasers, but also your fake organization reparations clout chasers that just happens to be Democratic shills. All at the same goddamn time. And we will see your ass, we will spot your ass, we will frame your ass, and we'll let the whole world see you for exactly what you are, like it or not. That's how we get in. But let's add a couple more spoilers to the fray. We're gonna add a couple more spoilers, family, because I ain't done. I like when we get to cooking. I told you, exposing folks is what we do over here on this side. Because if you ain't exposing the ops, then you ain't really doing nothing. And we trying to make it happen, so therefore, we gonna get it cracking. So let's get it cracking in this bitch. I'm gonna tell you another thing. Whenever foundational black Americans step to the plate, you see the jealousy. Why is the ADOS organization jealous of the foundational black American grassroots? I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the foundational black American grassroots represents the lineage as a whole. That's the difference. We represent what they're trying to pretend to be. Anytime someone is trying to pretend you, they're gonna be your number one hater. They're gonna be your number one distractor. Yes. So we've been seeing a lot of brothers and sisters out here putting it down, really taking this work serious because we are fighting uphill and we are swimming upstream. We already know what's happening. So what are they doing? They sit back and they hang out on the internet all day. Yeah, the fuck they do. Foundational Black Americans, Certified Black Society, we're out here really convening. Where the fuck does ADOS convene at? Where the fuck do they hang out? I mean, where? All I know is that they sit there and they watch a bunch of YouTube videos, or they sit down and they probably pay their fees and pay their money, but they don't actually be out here. Foundational Black Americans, we out here in the streets, we seen each other. Half of us have met already, and we out here putting in work. What the fuck do they do? I guess they all meet up at the Democratic National Convention. I bet in 2024, you'll see all of them, but you won't see them out here in the streets with the regular, real proletarian people. Because we represent the real, regular proletarian people, and they represent the Democratic Shields, they represent the Democratic Organization, and they represent the Democratic Party. That's why they're never amongst us, and that's why we can't point to one rally, one expose, we can't point to one committee or one type of institution that you've ever seen them at. You ain't seen them. Look at the OMB and then the Reparations Task Force out in California. Look at the difference. The OMB, and tell me, did y'all notice this? Every second fucking caller was ADOS. ADOS here, ADOS, skip one, ADOS. Both of their leaders got on the goddamn line. That was very motherfucking strange. Black folks advocating for FBA, for freedmen, for Negro, were waiting on the line for 22 hours. But every second caller was ADOS. The same ADOS people that you don't see out here in these streets. I ain't saying it was a fix. I'm just saying it damn sure looked like it. And would it be surprising to you that a group that tells you to vote Democrat down ballot will get this type of favor, where these type of calls could be screened? Would not surprise me, because remember, when Black Lives Matter showed up at these protests, nobody knew who the fuck they was, but they always got the cameras, they always got the microphone, they always got the bullhorn. So you see the way that the dominant society operates with their little puppets. And if you're working for the Democratic Party, trust me, you getting broke off. But compare the Reparations Task Force out there in California to the OBM. The OBM, they can screen calls, they can accept this person, they can allow those two leaders to get online, all that shit. But the Reparations Task Force, oh, that's straight from the dirt. That's loyal to the soil. Brothers and sisters who are regular citizens were showing up there. I seen sisters that were going to the reparations hearing and then leaving and going straight to work. That was about the black grassroots all the way live. That wasn't a phone call where they can screen the shit. Hell nah. Did you see any ADOS people there though? Did you see any ADOS people when it was truly black grassroots that were showing up? Did you see any? I didn't see none. And if they weren't there like they was on them OMB calls. Hell to the no, because one was getting favored and the other was just for the regular people. So you see the difference between the two of them, and you see who's really out here putting in work side by side, aligned with each other. If you're not aligned with the people, you do not represent the people. If you only show up on YouTube videos or you only show up when it's screen phone calls, we got to side eye you. It's the same thing with Black Lives Matter. Remember when W's were trying to make us all Black Lives Matter? They was like, you're a Black Lives Matter person, aren't you, Shanquella, Marquise? You're one of those people. And they didn't know, man, the average person in the streets, man, we don't fuck with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was never big in certified black society. The average black person was not in Black Lives Matter. The dominant society was always trying to thrust that upon us and trying to get us to wear that jacket. We weren't wearing that jacket. The same way brothers and sisters ain't wearing that ADOS jacket because they are not representative of the people. And once again, if you're not aligned with the people, you do not represent the people. We can say that a million times. I'm gonna be real. I ain't never met a Black Lives Matter person in my life. Never. I seen Black Lives Matter more on television than I ever have seen them with my own two eyes. The same way I've heard ADOS on screen OMB calls more than I've ever seen them with my two eyes in real life. FBA certified black society, we dope in real life. These motherfuckers don't exist in real life. Because that shows you where the black grassroots is, and that shows you where the mainstream is. Understand, the black grassroots is everywhere. You can find who is certified based upon the black grassroots. You don't have to search for the black grassroots, okay? The black grassroots, you can go anywhere. I can walk out my door right now and go find some black grassroots. I can go to Michigan. I can go to Indiana. I can go to Alabama. I can go to Texas. I can go to California. I can go to New York. I can go to the Carolinas, Missouri, Mississippi, and Louisiana, and I will find the black grassroots. The underground ain't that hard to find. But it's these motherfuckers who only pop up when the cameras pop up. Those are the people you have to watch, and those are reparations ops trying to make themselves the face of reparations. The same people that we are putting on that goddamn roster today. And they don't like catching that work. That's why we gonna continue to keep giving them that work. If it pisses them off, keep doing it, so we gonna keep on doing it. Now, if you notice the Reparations Task Force, it was flooded with agents. Let's talk about that, family. As we were saying earlier, resistance, prevention, trying to stop us, stall us, those are all tactics that they use. But what do? They throw in all types of ops. Nothing brings out the ops like reparations. That is the ultimate. If you want to see anti-foundational black American hatred, start talking about reparations and you're going to see everybody's true colors. The same person who says, well, I don't think black folks should be harmed in the streets. You ask them about reparations, they're going to say, well, I don't support reparations. The same person who says, I don't mind if a black man comes over for dinner. You ask him about reparations, he says, I don't want him to get no money though. Reparations is the ultimate. If you want to see where the ops are, follow the money. So when you look at these reparations task force, you've seen all type of agents up and down, all type of ops everywhere. And our brothers and sisters, salute to them. I'm talking about the biggest certified salute. They were able to stay on code and really speak their piece with real intellect and be very articulate so they can push forth this reparations policy. And they did it and still evaded all those ops. So salute to all of our brothers out there on the West Coast, because it's all eyes out there. And what the West Coast does right now, that's going to be the first domino to fall. And therefore, this reparations movement is going to only get more traction and more steam, which we already have. So certified salute to them. But if you notice, we were riding for them out there. We were holding them down and sticking up for them and giving them that salute, saying, y'all keep doing y'all thing. When you look at the American Democrats of slavery, oh, they didn't like that too much. They didn't like that. Have you seen them address any of the ops? Have you? Or have you seen them making excuses for Gavin Newsom and all of the Democrats? You notice they don't ever really go in on the Democrats. They don't really go in on the Democrats because they got to give the illusion that they're not Democrats. Be very careful of the person who's saying, yeah, I'm against the Democrats, but yet they tell you to vote Democrat down ballot. That's like the people who come around and say, man, I'm against supremacy, but then they don't ever do nothing about supremacy. That's the same tactic the dominant society uses. We were calling out all the agents and we were calling out all the ops out there in California so we can clear the way for our brothers and sisters to put in that work. ADO West wasn't doing that. Hell no. Did you see them say anything about the ops? Did you see them call out all the fucking agents that were there to infiltrate? Did they say one word about all the distractors? No. Who they spend their time hating on? They spend their time talking about our brother Tariq Nasheed. So that shows you what type of energy they have. Their leader, Mrs. Strappy, she didn't talk about the agents or the ops or everything that our brothers and sisters had to deal with speaking about reparations. She didn't support them. She spent all her time, energy, and effort trying to bring down FBA and our brother Tariq. Yes, she did. As a matter of fact, when Gavin Newsom came out and said he does not support cash reparations, let me say that one more time. When Gavin Newsom came out and said he does not support cash reparations, she didn't say a goddamn thing to him. Instead, she made a whole goddamn post and blamed it on Tariq. I'm not lying. I shit you not, family. Look it up. She was in there saying, Tariq did it. It's his fault. He's bad. It's bad. It's the FBA's fault. Sounding like a goddamn tether. As a matter of fact, I got it right now. Let's read this shit. This is what she did. She ran to the internet, made a whole post, the whole tweet, made a whole new video, and said it's all y'all FBA's fault. So family, I'm here to tell y'all, it's all our fault. All y'all listening right now, it's all y'all FBA's fault. It ain't the Democrat Gavin Newsom who said he don't support reparations. No, it's not their favorite party, or shall I say the party that funds them. Nope, it's all y'all's fault. So FBAs, we needs to do better according to Mrs. Strappy. Listen to what she said. She said, we may never know all the things that factored into Gavin Newsom's declining support for cash payments for reparations. Pause. What the fuck you mean we may not never know? I'll tell you what it is. It's called anti-black racism. It's called benign neglect. It's called the Democratic Party. You see how she came out automatically caping for them? You see that, right? Family, don't sit here and tell me that you don't know why this motherfucker don't support cash reparations, okay? A 5-year-old knows. You ask a 5-year-old right now, why come Gavin Newsom and the Democrats and the dominant society don't support reparations? They gonna say because they're supremacists. They're racist, that's why. She came out and led with it. So you see how she came out and she led with caping for Gavin Newsom, and then immediately after that, she followed with smoke for FBA and our brother Tariq. Watch what we talking about and you will see it every single time. So in other words, she came out caping for W's, and she came out with smoke for black people. This the mama of the community? Hell to the no.
You are nothing. You did not create yourself. I'm your mother, like it or not.
But listen, she goes further. But it comes days after Tariq Nasheed, and then she put in parentheses, who popularized calling black immigrants tethers. She telling on them. She snitching. This sound like a motherfucker at the principal's office. Didn't I say they go to Zaddy's principal's office? Didn't I say that phone rings 1-900-COON and they go to Zaddy's principal's office and get that race spanking? Don't we say that all the time on the Black Alpha Network? Yes, we do. She's in Zaddy's principal's office right now, tattletelling. He called them tethers. She put that shit in parentheses. She come out caping for Zaddy, pointing the finger at us, and then telling on us for calling them tethers. I be damned. You cannot make this shit up, family. It's real. It's documented. Look at the goddamn screen. Read it for yourself. This is the type of energy that these reparations ops are on. The American Democrats of slavery moving forward. She also says, almost getting into a physical brawl at the most recent task force meeting. Awful press. She worried about press. She worried about press, family. Don't that sound like somebody who says, y'all pick up your pants now. Don't go down there rocking that boats now. Don't go down there and you start stirring up them W's. They's gonna get mad at us. Ain't that the main thing people say when they tell us we're not gonna get reparations? We can't get reparations. Why? Because it's gonna make all the W's mad. She's in there saying every single bullshit talking point for anti-reparations, but yet she claims to be pro-reparations. I don't hear pro-reparations in there. Did you hear anything about cut the check? Did you hear anything about run them tangibles? Did you hear anything about no tangibles, no vote? Or did you hear don't make the W's mad? They're bad for calling people tether, and we don't know why Gavin Newsom is a supremacist. We don't know why he don't support the money. Man, that's a goddamn fraud. I said it. Black Alpha. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, and motherfucking indeed. Now, when our brothers and sisters were out there really putting in work and having to deal with those ops and agents, man, we supported them. We looked out for them. We want to see their best interests. She ain't say nothing about that. She ain't give a fuck. She was too busy hating on FBA. That shows you where she's at. That shows you who she's working for. Our brother Tariq Nasheed, who does a lot of great things for the community, real certified. He took his time out to sit amongst the people and to speak on our behalf as a collective, as a community. That's real and that's dedicated. What was Strappy doing? She was sitting there making tweets and making videos, hating on FBA and getting in the way of our reparations. Once again, exposing their whole organization as a Democratic shield organization. Because if you were for the people, you'd be out there with the people, not tweeting, hating on the people. Big goddamn difference. So she need to go ahead and pack her bags and get the fuck on out. Democrat. Nah, you need to go ahead and get up on out of here, homeboy. See what I just did there? Yeah, on purpose. Don't come to me talking about the American Democrats of slavery when you hearing all that chump talk right there. Don't put them up. Certified Black Society's up here and they way the fuck down there. Irrelevant. Then she went on to say a bunch of other bullshit and listen to these terms. Agent of chaos, expect chaos, confusion and division wherever they go. Uh-oh, don't that sound just like y'all being divisive, brother? Brother, you're being divisive. We are black, brother. She just sat there and said, confusion and division everywhere he goes. That ain't nothing but tether talk. Why is ADOS speaking tether talk and speaking Democratic talk but claiming that they're black grassroots? Ain't nothing about that certified. Ain't nothing about that black grassroots. We don't talk tether talk. We expose tether talk. We don't talk Democrat talk. We regulate Democratic talk. She made a whole goddamn tweet and a whole nother video to follow that, speaking like a goddamn tether. Get the fuck out of here, agent of chaos. Y'all's being divisive. Y'all's gonna get the W's mad. We don't know why Gavin Newsom ain't gave us reparations. It's funny how she real sweet on him. She real sweet on the guy who said he don't represent cash payments, but look at all the smoke she got for us. And then at the end, family, she said this: FBA was an awful experiment. It's time to put it to rest. That's what she really wanted to say. And by the way, you know she put was in there? She's trying to past tense the FBA movement. Did you catch that, family? Did you catch that? You know I see everything. You know Black Alpha gon' spot that shit. I don't give a damn if you put that in the smallest tiny print. I'ma say, right motherfucking there. What I told you? We comb the contract up in here. Yes. So she tried to put it in the past tense. Let me let her and all of them know. FBA ain't past tense. FBA is present and we here to motherfucking stay. That's what it is, because it is a lineage, a heritage, and a culture. And this lineage, this heritage, and this culture is unbreakable, it's untouchable, it's unmatched, and stronger than ever. Way stronger than your little tweets and your little videos. But let's not stop there. So that's just the tweet. Listen to this in the video where they start talking about healing. Mind you, the Democrats are always going to pivot off of cash reparations to some type of truth and reconciliation. All right. Well, in this video right here, they start speaking about healing. And I promise y'all, she says that she's okay with healing. She tries to mix it in because she tries to get real slick with her words. Not slick enough for us to not spot that shit though. But she tries to say, oh, we'll take cash reparations and healing too. I don't give a fuck about healing. Family, let me ask y'all. Do y'all give a half a minor piece of fuck about healing? Do y'all give a little iota of healing, forgiveness, hugs, and kisses? Or do you want the money, and the goddamn money? M-O-N-E-Y. Which one do y'all want, family? Exactly. Do you even entertain forgiveness? Do you even entertain healing? Or is that some shit that don't even pop up on your certified foundational Black American radar? Exactly. That shit don't pop up on our radar. And if somebody even came in here and even mentioned healing, we gonna send them straight to the door. So the very fact that she's trying to placate that is exactly what the Democratic Party, and that's what Democratic shills do. They always mix in Black grassroots language with Democratic shield language, so later on they can backslide. They provide themselves wiggle room. So she comes out right now and she says, I don't mind the healing part, but let's just do it after the money. And I say, fuck the healing part, give me all the money. You see the difference between the certifieds and the counterfeits? You goddamn right. Oh, and by the way, this right here, this is an epic roast, and we putting it all down our way. Certified all the time. BLACK. Well, family, look at the energy shift. Look how it is when she starts talking about FBA. All the spite, all the anger, all the vitriol. She mad as hell. But when she starts talking about Democrats and Gavin Newsom, all of a sudden she starts caping. We don't know where the money's coming from and what it could be. We don't understand what he's thinking. You notice that the energy shift and the pivot, that tells you who they're really for and who they're really against. That's not pro-reparations, that is pro-Democrat. And we got to separate the two of them. I don't give a damn who you are. So you already see, when she starts talking about us, she's angry. Y'all just hating on ADOS. When she starts talking about the Democratic Party, we don't know yet. It's a bunch of tether talk. It's a bunch of Democratic shield talk. Trust me, man, fam, she probably be in half of them Twitter spaces. I put it on everything. If you see a Twitter space and it's titled, why is FBA divisive? Oh, I'm sorry, let me say it right. Why is FBA so divisive? Because you know, if your F got 3 E's and your A got 4 H's on it, then you're probably a tether. If you see one of those spaces and you see a strange icon lingering and lurking around the bottom, it's probably her, because she's spewing straight up tether talk. That's some FBA is a hate group. She basically said that shit. Mix it in with some Democratic shield, because that's who she takes her orders from. So goddamn right. But family, listen to the energy shift. Listen to how she's talking when she's speaking about our brother, our elder, our master teacher, Dr. Claude Anderson. Listen to how angry she gets.
Sir, you didn't design anything. You see right there where it says the Powernomics vision is a Black America that is politically and economically self-sufficient and competitive by the year 2005. You didn't even design a thing. And that is apparent, sir. That is apparent in the conversation that you're having. It is not for the era that we are in right now. It's apparent to me and it's apparent to everybody that's paying attention. You said in the Breakfast Club interview, Dr. Claude Anderson, and then come up here and claim something because some people wanted to be anti-ADOS and claim you as their ideological godfather and their political godfather, when really they just don't want to follow us, so they gotta follow somebody else. They weren't mentioning you 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
All right, y'all heard that? Now listen to her respond to Gavin Newsom when he said he don't support cash reparations. Listen to all the flowers, all the box of chocolates, all the candy bars, and all the sweetness in her voice when she's making excuses for him. It ain't the same way she talks when she's speaking about FBA. Listen,
California Governor Gavin Newsom hasn't endorsed any recommendations as the task force submits its final report on June 20th.
Listen to the sweetness, y'all.
He also said the Reparations Task Force's independent findings and recommendations are a milestone in our bipartisan.
That's not the same way.
Advance justice and promote healing. This is reparations. Listen, I'm all in favor of lineage therapy.
Whoa, hold on, pause. What the fuck did she just say? What the fuck? Did she just say she's all in support of lineage therapy? Family? Hold up, let me sit down. I gotta sit the fuck down with that one. Oh, hell no, I was standing up, now I gotta sit down. I got a question for y'all. Please, hit me up in the chat, hit me up in the comment section, DM me on Twitter or Instagram, and somebody tell me, what the fuck is lineage therapy? I ain't never heard of that. Have any of y'all ever heard of the term lineage therapy? I've never heard that a day in my life. I'm telling you, they'll come up with new words, twist words, spin words, and give it right back to us if that's what it takes to stop us from getting the bag. Lineage therapy. Nobody's ever heard of that. When that dude from the Tennessee 3, he starts saying repentance and forgiveness. Okay, that's some bullshit, but at least we've heard that bullshit before. What the fuck is lineage therapy? Somebody tell me. See, I gotta stand back up again. I was standing up, sat down, and I gotta get back the fuck up. Cause I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck does that mean. And you gotta be careful, cause that's what the dominant society will do. They'll start off with some shit, make up a new word, and then say, there you go, there's your reparations in the form of lineage therapy. What are we supposed to do? All go downtown and go see a therapist? All go downtown and see a psychologist? Sit on the fucking couch and they say, is it bad? Do you not like what happens to y'all? Well, here you go. Here's your reparations. That's what it is. Lineage therapy. And she's out there facilitating that shit. I told you, they give all of that talk to their Democratic shills and then they bring that shit into the community. It's like the black person who brings in the W to the cookout. She's bringing in lineage therapy to our reparations conversation. She's escorting that shit right on in. The Democrats gave her motherfucking orders and she said, all right, lineage therapy it is. Let me start saying that word. And then she said she's all for it. She didn't just say lineage therapy. She said she's all for it. She's all in support of that shit. Whatever the fuck that means. Goddamn, that's whack. That's lame as fuck. We all just gonna go and talk to a therapist and that'll be your reparations. You know it all starts with a seed. Trust me, anything that they can come up with, they gonna try to come up with. That's what you call being desperate. And that's what you call some Democratic shield shit right there. Lineage therapy. Hell nah. Ain't one reparationist on the planet gonna open their mouth and say some shit like that. And then she endorsed it. She said she's all for it. Let me run that back one more time so we can figure out what the fuck that means.
This is reparations. Listen, I'm all in favor of lineage therapy.
One more time.
This is reparations. Listen, I'm all in favor of lineage therapy. I think that's great.
What the fuck? She thinks it's great.
Reparations is not healing. Now that can be a part of it. You can give us our wealth back and say, now let's heal.
Whoa, you can give us our wealth back and then say, now let's heal. One more time to everybody listening. Is anybody concerned with healing? Does anybody give a fuck about healing? Does anybody know what the fuck lineage therapy means? This person just promoted healing in our reparations claim. This person just promoted and created lineage therapy in our reparations claim. Family, there's off code and then there's that shit. And do you hear how nice and soft she's speaking? She's open to healing. She's open to therapy. Was that the same type of energy she had when she was talking about Dr. Claude Anderson? Was it? You don't hear that same type of vitriol when she was talking about our brother Tariq. As a matter of fact, listen to how she sounds when she was talking about our brother Marcel. Nothing but anger. Listen. Okay, now that's how she talks about our brothers. Listen to how she talks about Massa Zaddy Gavin Newsom.
Right? Because that's kind of what, and I remember years ago, I used to be like, well, maybe it is about more than cash payments. Maybe we can do it through school or whatever. It's not wealth. It needs to, we do need cash payments. But listen, it would benefit.
Nope, fuck that. Did you hear what she just did? She said it is about cash payments. But, nah, it ain't never but or however or even if. Anytime someone says but, however, or even if, when they're talking about cash reparations, they about to try to spin you on something else. Yes, she's doing the same thing Gavin Newsom did. Only difference is Gavin Newsom's doing it from the political Democratic politician standpoint, and she's doing it from the political Democratic shield standpoint. Watch her say it's about cash reparations, but then she starts trying to sell us on education as well. And as soon as she said but, you knew what was coming. Listen to the pivot.
We can do some schools and we can give free tuition. It's not giving back wealth, but it'll be free tuition. It'll be free tuition to ADOS. We can do that much. Listen, it's not wealth. It needs to. We do need cash payments. But listen, it would benefit. Wouldn't it benefit you if you could we've discussed this. Wouldn't it benefit you if you could send your kid to school in California? You could send them to Berkeley or whatever. Like, and not have to pay. Wouldn't it? At least that would be a benefit. It would.
She's stuttering, y'all. Did you hear what she said? She said, at least. I fucking left that out. So it's but, however, even if, and at least. Did you hear her trying to sell that shit? Did she sound like a broke down used car salesman? It's not about. She said it ain't about cash reparations. It's also about education. And she said, at least you'll be able to go to school. I'm done. That right there is the Democratic shield. That sounds like one tide lifts all boats. That sounds like, well, whatever happens for black folks is going to help all Americans. That's some all lives matter shit. Didn't I say you see the parallels between ADOS and Black Lives Matter? Didn't I say that these groups are put here in position and sponsored by the liberals, just like Malcolm X said, in order to dilute the progress that we're making? And it's also very, very important that people like us, the certified regulators, regulate their asses so they don't get nothing off. Yes. So all the proof's in the pudding right there. And did you see the energy shift? Did you hear her vocal tones come way down? It's, well, you know, and it's at least we can get some type of education or something. She starts getting into this real strange shit when she's trying to sell us. You can tell she's very uncomfortable. She wasn't even looking at the camera. Her eyes are wandering all over the place because she knew she was lying. She knew she was lying. She was trying to sell us on everything except cash payments, but at the same time, they try to make it look like they support cash payments, but they know that we recognize and we identify a fence straddler on sight. And that's what she was trying to do. She's trying to make it look like she's tough on the Democrats. That's that shit that Roland Martin and them be doing. What I always say, family, Democrats always try to make it look like they're angry at supremacy, but they work for supremacy. So what she's trying to do, she's trying to make it look like she's angry at Democrats and Gavin Newsom, but in reality, she's on board with Democrats and Gavin Newsom. Because if she was not on board with them, she would not be saying the same exact things that they're saying. If somebody says the same thing that a Democrat is saying, then they are a Democrat. It's that simple. And that's what we doing right now in this era. We keeping everything simple and plain. You're not going to run us around the block. You're not going to try to confuse us. Fuck no. We going to call a spade, and we going to call a Democratic shield a Democratic shield. And that clip shows you exactly what a Democratic shield is. Now, listen to the caping. Listen to her shift again. So it went from talking to foundational black Americans, you angry and you yelling, making excuses for Gavin Newsom and the Democratic Party, you're talking very soft, and then she jumps back to talking angry again when she's speaking on foundational black Americans. So you see where her allegiance lies, and it's not with the black grassroots.
Everybody to understand that it's time for these failed experiments to be over with. Okay? For those of you all who didn't see the video, I'm not going to show the video. I showed it on Patreon. I'm not going to show it twice. And Tariq Nasheed. So somebody beside her starts then yelling at Flex's bank account back there. He's sitting back there, start yelling at him, and then he starts yelling back. And who knows what happened? Who knows? There's no way to know all of the different reasons why Governor Newsom decided he wasn't going to do this.
Watch her start trying to place blame, family. Look at her try to blame us.
But if I had looked up on my TV and saw this grifter man who has been calling black immigrants tethers for a very long time, if
she
I
tattletelling
over there and saw him in the audience looking like he about to come to blows, and this is the image that my reparations task force has, I would pick up the phone too and say, I'm done. I'm finished. We don't know if that's true, but I would be finished. You are not going to do that. Now, I told y'all, though. I told these people, when all these people were saying, Yvette, we're all the same lineage. You can't steal our lineage, Yvette. And I don't understand why you can't work with him, Yvette. Yvette, you were told y'all just so difficult. Why y'all this way? We told you he can't be worked with.
Wait a minute. She says that we can't be worked with, but yet she told everybody, if you ain't a part of our organization, go start your own. So that shit applies to her. And notice how she tries to deflect. She starts making shit up. She's tattletelling. She's pointing the finger. She's desperate as hell. In reality, she's just jealous because our lineage is not being represented by her organization. So she's running to massa.
We told you there is no working with somebody like this. We told you there is no working with somebody like this. Instead, the other people, y'all went and elevated him. Y'all all should have excluded him a long time ago. We told you, we warned you, and you didn't do it.
Look at her getting mad that other people rock with the lineage. She's sitting there getting upset because people are not fucking with her. They're deciding to represent the black grassroots. So it seems as if she got a problem with the black grassroots above everything. And typically, Democratic shields and mainstream organizations always have a problem with the black grassroots because we represent everything that they pretend to be. Now, when you listen to them and you let them talk more, you can hear how afraid they are of being replaced. You can hear how afraid they are of being irrelevant. You can hear how afraid they are from getting canceled. And the people will always decide. So it's not a shocker when somebody can't get shit popping on their own, when somebody can't get things going on their own, and somebody can't get attention on their own. They always go see who the most popular is, and they always try to latch onto them to steal their spotlight. And that's what they're doing. Nobody fucks with their ragtag organization, so they always speak about FBA because that's the only way they can get some shine. But that shine is being put the fuck out today. Listen to the spite, the jealousy, and the envy. Sit back and enjoy.
We're talking about doing serious movement work. We're talking about serious relationship. It's the same 8 to 10 people to show up every time that you pay for. At a certain point, this experiment has to be over. I understand what it was. You took somebody called into this show one time and said, Tariq Nasheed is very good at sweeping a bunch of stuff together in a circle. He don't think of nothing. And that's true. So you took something from Dr. Claude Anderson, which was a name. Then you took the rhetoric from ADOS and you put it all together. As a sales tactic, though, you all have to understand that the reason that FBA never went anywhere because it was never intended to go anywhere.
If I couldn't get my own shit popping was a person, that's exactly what the fuck it would sound like. So yeah, FBA has went somewhere. It's went to the top because every time I look, foundational black Americans are trending. Anytime I hear someone speak internationally, they're talking about FBA. They not calling talking about ADOS. They don't know if ADOS is a ragtag organization or if ADOS is a fucking restaurant. They don't know and they don't give a fuck. It's all eyes on FBA, and Yvette, Strappy, Tone, Titty Boy, and the rest of them are irrelevant. They fell all the way to fuck back, and only thing they can do right now is go back to that Zaddy's principal's office and get to telling. Point motherfucking made. I'm telling y'all, we undefeated right here in the black grassroots. We separate who's real and who's not. We separate the imposters from the real ones, and that's exactly what we just did. I mean, look, fam, we run everybody off the block. Black Lives Matter, been canceled. Y'all remember the Not Fucking Arounds coalition with that last summer? And ADOS is right there along with them. So they way the fuck over there, irrelevant as hell, standing next to each other, trying to get attention, but they understand the spotlight is always on certified black society. Checkmate. So it's clear. You got people who want to be the face of reparations, and then you have people who actually are the face of reparations. And reparations is about the lineage, the heritage, and the culture, and the black grassroots makes everything go. And you can trace this all the way back to day one. It's not the mainstream, it's not the lamestream, it's not these little pop-up groups and pop-up organizations. No, it's always the black grassroots. So that's why we walk right now today with pride. We see power in our lineage, and the power that we have in our lineage is why everything is getting done expediently. It was the black grassroots during Reconstruction. It was the black grassroots all through Black Wall Street. It was the black grassroots during the Civil Rights era, and it's the black grassroots right here today. Full command, full control, got it like that. That is what it's always been. On code, brothers and sisters. On code, kings and queens. On code, goddess and gods. I'm telling you, fam, it's always been about us, and it will always continue to be about us. Every single thing that we broke down, every single tactic that we said, the reason why that shit isn't in full steam is because us. We don't allow none of that to happen. We are the only lineage that has ever stood up and fought back. We are the only lineage that has ever stood up and been prideful. We are the only lineage that fucks all their plans up. And every single thing that we do is black empowerment. Therefore, everything they think they got going is in decline. You name every single group that we done broke down today, every last one of their asses is in decline. And I'm talking about from the bottom all the way up to the top. Because foundational black Americans are on code like never before. And it's been proven that once we get on code, we are undefeated. We never take no losses. We only dish them out. So yeah, it feels real good right now. And it feels real good to build with my brothers and sisters. It's about us revolving around each other, us building with each other, and us being in sync. And sometimes everything just aligns perfect and everything just falls into order. In other words, we got our mind right and our money right. And you can't teach that. Flawless. Man, family, you know it's been good regulating, G-checking, and exposing with the whole family. I cannot wait to see the family in Texas. I hope everybody stays good. If you're not going to be there, I know you're going to be there in spirit, and I'm going to hold you down. We all going to hold you down because that's what the family does. If a brother and sister can't make it, we going to represent you to the fullest. We going to ride with you to the fullest, and we going to let the whole world know that this is the FBA family tree, and we don't move for nobody. Yes, I got to say thank you to everybody who has supported the Cash App. That is what I appreciate. And you guys know I say that all the time. I appreciate you so much and I'm humbled by it because to see us grow and to see us speak truth to power, that's what I love. And that's why everything, as I said, is in sync and in order. It's because we got love for one another. And y'all know I love y'all with a passion. This is my favorite time. This is my favorite era. And there's nothing better than living today with this certified family tree right on side of you. If you got that, then you got it all. And family, we got it all because we stick together. So I appreciate everybody who supported the Cash App. I appreciate everybody who rocks with the Black Alpha Network. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it loud and proud. We building, we working, we shining, we grinding. And it's all eyes on us the way it's supposed to be. All facts. All right, y'all. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay lovely and vigilant. Can't wait to see everybody tap in with the Black Alpha Network. Much love and respect all the way around. And let the whole world know that we are one tonight. Let us be one in the future. Power to the people. Because black is beautiful and beautiful is always black. One love.